up? We're back at it again. Look how cool this opening title screen is, dude. I'm posting about it right now. Welcome, chat and everyone, back to some GoldenOunk gaming. Today with murders on the Yangtze River. I'm gonna be... Oh, I didn't think about the pronunciation, dude. I can't pronounce things in English. We're gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna go social media marketing, y'all. Go to Club Caleb. Make sure I get it posted over here too, just because, you know. Add to story. Throw in an extra little link here. Quick little link see. Live now. There, we got it. I really wish y'all could have seen the opening sequence for this. I mean, nobody's here yet to even see it, but let me tell you, it was something else. I hope when we click new game we'll get it again, because it really was beautiful. So, starting off, this was a game I found from Clemmy Games, Indie Gaming, Best Indie Gaming YouTube channel. I don't know, he kind of shows everything that they put out. So it says they're a small game studio in China, limited in language skills. Despite our best efforts, error in translations may still exist, just so y'all know. Should you encounter any mistakes during gameplay, please let us know. Okay, well, we'll have a good chat of it here, since I'll be going through a lot of it, at least out loud. I wonder how long it is. That would be interesting to see. They left us a little note up here, too. When we were developing the game, we have learned from a number of excellent works, including Ace Attorney, Diamond and the Sound of a Gunshot. That sounds kind of cool. And then books, Alibi Breaker, Locked Room Collector, Danganronpa. I wonder if that Kirigigiri is the same thing. The Villa Lilac Case, the Kindiachi Case, Files, and When Isaac Newton Became a Detective, a video. We pay our highest tributes to these works and their creators. If you are interested in murders on the Yangtze River, we would highly recommend you to enjoy above-mentioned works. Nice. I love that. You know, kings supporting kings. That's what we call that around here. Okay, looks like that's up. I'm just pulling this up over here, too. While we just enjoy this river. You know, I was thinking... Steamboats are such a, like, Louisiana, Mississippi River kind of picture in my mind that I really don't think about, like, steamboats in China just being so, like, American, I guess. Like, we really don't learn about this period of history in China very much. So, I don't know how, like, if this is even historically accurate, really, but it would be really... It's just kind of cool to see... When we play games made by different parts of the world, you know, we played some by the, like, all the Scandinavian RPGs. Like, it's fun looking at what, like, a Chinese story mystery is going to be like. And I love this setting because it almost seems familiar to me in a lot of ways. Like, the mountains, that's not very Louisiana, much more swamp. But I really like the steamboat aesthetic, and even like the stuff he was wearing. I was like, I think I could even put together that outfit just from my closet. So we're getting into it here with a new game. Let's full steam ahead, you know? I inked a pact with death. Nice. I wonder if this is us. Awaited his arrival patiently. Tonight, he finally knocked on my door. A knock at the door. What? We didn't get up to get it? I guess we must have blown the candle out at some point. Oh, maybe we did get up to get it. Although, that's not what I'm wearing. A knife. Wait, there's a body right next to us. Uh-oh. This can't be good. Unexpected Misfortune. Chapter 1. Ah, okay, I see. We have to help this guy, is what I'm thinking. Open up! If you won't open these doors, we're breaking in. The constable. Uncle! Oh no. What? What in the... How could this possibly be? No. Master Lo! 30 minutes later. Officer Ma. Lord, the murderer is sleeping like a baby at the scene of the crime. My head is spinning. I can't seem to clear my mind. The murderer. Could he be talking about me? Uh-oh. We're blinking? Oh, my head's finally clear a little bit, so I can see. Tap the left and right arrow keys, or A and D, to control movement. Oh, yeah, he's not letting me go anywhere. Stay still and quit moving, you murderer. No, it was not me. I am just a detective. I came here to... I know you're lying. How dare you kill Master Lo? Look at this dude over here, just chilling. This guy crying? That's so sad. Calm down, Officer Ma. Allow him to finish. We need to verify his true identity. Look at this guy's drip. That is incredible. Are you kidding me with this intricate... That's like the graphic tee of the day, you know? But, like, obviously way cooler, because he's a judge rolling up here in that, so... I am Shen Chengpeng, a detective, a traveling detective. My assistant, Afu, and I arrived in this town last night to obtain clues on an old case. Our steamship broke down midway, and we struggled until late to reach shore. Oh, look at Apu, dude. He looks awesome back there, too. I can't believe we got here so late. That's because somebody fried the ship's generator. That's the shipmaster's fault. I warned him. You shouldn't be allowed to go near a generator. Yeah, bud. Ooh, okay. We're walking. We're crossing the bridge. Good gameplay so far. This did have overwhelmingly positive with like 8,000 reviews. So wait, is there a run? How is he running? Huh? There's a young lady crying over there. I didn't even notice. You know, I was just going this way. Okay, if y'all see a young lady crying, do you go and talk to them? Like, let's just say you're wandering somewhere in the middle of the night. How many of y'all are really going over and being like, hello, what's up? You gotta say what's wrong. Don't say, are you okay? Because she's crying. She's obviously not. Wow. Perhaps it is a delicate matter. Well, let's continue on our way then. You don't want to chase her down now? By the way, that novelist you're visiting, is he really related to the open case? I think he could lead to the breakthrough we need. But I do want to see if we can't chase her. You know, double tap, go faster. What does tab do? Oh, that's my... Ooh, we have a menu here. Evidence, characters. Shen Chengpeng, 22. That's me, a traveling detective. Yeah, what did we say? Did we say... Are you alright? See, obviously she's not alright. Let me tell you something right now. If you see somebody crying, don't ask them, are you alright? Ask them what's wrong. Because if you're just going, are you alright? They're just going to go, yes. And just keep crying and ignore you or run away like she did. But if you say what's wrong, you can be like, I know something's wrong. You're crying. Nobody's just sitting out crying with nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything over here. Where'd she go? I gotta change. Which, that's something that, like, maybe they could change in the translation if they want to show Shen Chengpeng as a truly a master of his emotion and connective ability. You know? Just a subtle thing to really solidify his character. I need drip like that, though. That would be kind of cool. This must be the novelist's place. I'll see you later. What? You don't want me to come? You need to go find parts to repair the generator. See, he seems like he might be more of a hard ass. So, hey, are you alright? You're okay, you ran off? Yeah, you're fine. That is maybe more of what he's like. Wait, what did that say? Oh, we can run now. Wow, we could have run this whole time. Knock. Hello? Who goes there? It's late. I am Shen Chengpeng. I have an appointment with Mr. Lo to meet today. My journey was delayed by a storm en route. I did not wish to miss our appointment, so I took the liberty of arriving at such late hours. Shen Chengpeng? Have we met before? The liberty of her. We've never met in person. We have always communicated through letters. Oh, I see. One moment. I like that they have the whole thing voice acted. Like, I think that is Mandarin? But I'm not 100% sure. Look at this guy. We got actual Sherlock Holmes over here. Lope, what's up, dude? Please wait a moment, Mr. Shen. I must finish writing the story on hand. I do not wish to break my train of thought. Oh, he's got something good for his novel. No need to worry. I shall bide my time and await for yours. Wait for you to be ready? It's cold in the evening. Could I trouble you to close the door and hang the latch for me? Yeah, we can do that. Look at this latch, dude. Yeah, get that sucker on there. Nobody's getting in here. Mirror. A Western-style mirror. It seems out of place compared to with the other furniture in this room. Does it? Because of this hat, maybe? Okay, so we can see, like, everything will get a check mark if we've actually looked at it or not. That's kind of nice. A wardrobe slightly taller than a person. A lock hangs from the handles. Okay, so we know we've got a locked thing over here. There are piles of old books underneath the novelist's bed. They are all covered in dust, which means that he's not read them in quite a while. He sleeps on them, it looks like. Well, what's up, Lope? The door has been closed. Please be at ease. Or the doors have been closed, since there are kind of two of them. I came here today on account of an important matter. Have you ever heard of the peculiar case that happened in London 3 years ago? Let's take our time to talk about this case. You must be tired from traveling afar. I'm sure you haven't had anything to eat yet. Like there you could say, let's table our discussion until we're ready. There are some local rice cakes on the chest beside me. Please, I insist, have a taste. Then it would be rude of me to decline. He is just like, yeah, give me some rice cakes, I don't mind. There are a few pieces of translucent pastries on the plate. Okay, I'm hungry, let me eat some. I am quite hungry. Perhaps just one piece. Oh no. Wait, these rice cakes. I don't feel too good. That is what happened. After I ate the cakes, I lost consciousness until you all arrived. Likely story, murderer. Come on. So you're saying that you fainted inside this room because someone had drugged you? That's correct. I told you not to weasel. Even if you were drugged, the only possible murderer is you. I've got ironclad proof. There's no way I'm wrong. Officer Ma, would it be possible to ask you to elaborate on what the ironclad proof is? How dare you, trying to provoke me? Truth fears no questions. Surely the judge also wants to see your proof, to avoid misjudgment. Lope is a local celebrity. I must account for this properly to townspeople. Tell us what you know then, Officer Ma, just so I could be at peace with this arrest. Fine, just so you know how you got caught. Deduction. Reason for suspecting Shen Chengpeng. Oh, we got some Judge Sheng. It's simple. Up until we found the corpse, this room was completely sealed off. Corpse. Sealed off? He's got me. The window frame prevents anyone from entering or leaving through it. The door was bolted from the inside. If I hadn't broken the latch with my kick, we wouldn't even have been able to get in. Which means that the murderer could only be someone who was already in the room. And that someone is you. How could this be? The room was sealed off, and I was the one who hung the door latch. Ain't the truth as clear as day now? Oh, it's murders on the Yangtze River. So it's kind of like a another murder mystery game that I found, but it's a Chinese-made one. They connected it the most to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, if you've ever played those. But we're just starting off. We just came to meet this guy. We're a traveling detective, and we were drugged and woke up murdered, as you can kind of see playing out. Won't you just confess already? Officer Ma's deduction seems quite precise. I believe there has been no misjudgment. We were checking out this guy's awesome shirt, too. Mr. Shen, unless you are about to provide conclusive evidence to prove your innocence, I'll have no choice but to give orders to take you into custody. Both of my hands are tied. How am I supposed to find evidence in such a short time? Calm down, Shen Chengpeng. This problem can be solved through observation and reasoning. Are there still... All actions are bound to leave a trace on scene. I am absolutely sure that I did not murder the victim. Someone is trying to frame me. So, I will be able to find a contradiction within the traces left behind at the scene. Before I answer Judge Chang's question, I need to carefully observe the scene first. Crime scene investigation. Investigate? I can see my reflection in the mirror. My face is pale and I look quite dreadful. I do somewhat resemble a murderer. Interesting that we... Look, what about this knife? Can we circle that? A short blade stained with blood. I kind of like this way to, look at things. This should be the murder weapon. Found within my grasp and now seen as evidence against me. New clue. Bloodstained knife. A forked blade stained with blood was found in my grasp. Now seen as evidence against me. Okay, we just read that, yeah. What are we trying... What here it looks like a contradiction? I guess we have a bar, like a progress bar. Should we circle his wound? The victim died facing upwards with multiple wounds on his chest, clothes stained with blood. My hands and feet are tied, so I can't get any closer to see any other details of the corpse. But look, we only have blood on our arm. The blood on my sleeve most probably belongs to the deceased. It seems like there's also blood on my back as well. Quit moving, you punk. What are you trying at? Officer Ma, could I trouble you to help me take off my coat? Oi, how dare you order me around? I would like to take a look at the back to see if it is also stained with blood. Indeed, Mr. Shen, there are blood stains. Excuse me, on your back. What? That's gotta be Master Lo's blood. This is my coat. The left sleeve is stained in blood, and there are blood splatters across the back. Okay. What else could we need to see here? These buttons? Okay, we already saw that one. What's this little dangly thing? Can we circle that at all? No, I guess not. Maybe our pants. No, okay, that's not working either. The victim died facing upwards. What's this thing? We can only click in the mirror, it looks like. We've gotten this. What about where we were laying? Several long continuous blood splatters on the floor. They are cast-off pattern bloodstains. There's an evidence gap within the 3 longest bloodstains. How could this be? Because that's where I was lying. A gap in the bloodstain is most likely caused by something being removed. The bloodstain was disrupted. The reason the bloodstain was disrupted was likely because something blocked the way of the blood splatter. The appearance of a gap shows that something that was once there has been removed. Like me laying on the floor. Right? Have you found evidence that can prove your innocence? This piece of evidence will be able to prove my innocence. Present evidence. My jacket. Here's proof. Wait, my glasses. Here's proof. Officer Ma is a person able to kill someone with a knife while having his back towards them? Of course not. If so, this blood-stained coat will be able to prove my innocence. So this coat ain't yours? It is mine. I am wearing it. Pulling the sword out is so funny. What kind of nonsense is this? With knife and blood, you're still saying you ain't guilty? Mr. Shen, how does this bloodstained coat prove that you are innocent? Take a look at where the bloodstains are. They appeared on the back and not across the chest. What does that imply? It implies that I had my back towards the victim when his blood was spilled. As my back is facing the victim, I am unable to raise a knife to stab his chest. Humph. You must have turned your clothes inside out when you committed the murder. Such trickery is nothing new to me. Officer Ma, please look here. The floor has multiple cast-off pattern bloodstains, including one with a noticeable gap. It shows there was once something there that had been moved later on. Did someone mess with the crime scene? That something was probably me. You messed with the crime scene? First you killed him? If I am right, the bloodstain on my back should be able to match the bloodstain on the floor. Okay, lay down for us. This will prove that I was unconscious on the floor during the time of the crime. Take that! I would not have been capable of stabbing him to create such bloodstains as I laid on the floor. There is some truth to that. Therefore, the truth of the matter is, after the murder killed Lo Pei, he planted the knife in my hand to frame me for his crime. Even while you are completely tied up, you are still able to calmly analyze the crime scene. What a master of deduction. Mr. Shen, that's impressive. Long Quang Quang Li Shen Gun. It seems that you really are a detective. Ooh. Fact unlocked, detective. You flatter me, Judge Shang. So my suspicion has finally been cleared? As the only 2 people in this room, if you ain't the murderer, you saying he killed himself? Doubt, did Lo Pei commit suicide? If I want to find out the truth, I need to thoroughly investigate the crime scene. However, with my hands and feet tied, it is impossible for me to investigate. Officer Ma, how about we untie him? Lord, what if he... Rest assured, Judge Shang, I will not leave this place until we get to the bottom of this case. I'll solve it right here and now. If you try any funny business under my nose, you'll pay for it. This guy crying, that looked just like him. I'm finally allowed to move around the room. So unlike the other ones, this one seems like the story is going to be much of a bigger impact on what we're doing. I need to investigate the crime scene as quick as possible. I can't miss a single detail. Throughout investigations, I will surely encounter many doubts. I should think carefully. I see my reflection in the Western-style mirror. Will I be able to clear my name? One can only hope. Book box. The wooden book box is filled with books that Lope published. Ghost in the Well, Bells and Bones, Mysterious Echo, The Confined Room Mystery. Unfortunately, this copy of The Confined Room Mystery is not the original manuscript. You like The Confined Room Mystery too? The reason why I came to visit Lope was to speak with him about this book. You got good taste. The death scenes in The Confined Room Mystery were absolutely stunning. Officer Ma, do you know where the inspiration of this book comes from? Ain't got a clue, but Master Lo was an extraordinary fella. Anything could have inspired him. But if we're talking about good storytelling, it's gotta be Swordsman Case. I like that. Okay, we're just listening to them talk about the book series. They're all sad this guy's dead. It's a dang shame we'll never get to read the next volume. A real loss to the community. An author like this died too young. For real. We can talk to both of them still. I can't believe the Lord allowed you to join in on the investigations. He really likes to take his sword out. Don't even try to play any tricks. I'm watching your every move. Rest assured, officer, I will uncover the actual murderer. You better. Keep in mind, don't mess up the crime scene with your incompetence. Alright. In order to find out the truth, I would like Officer Ma to answer a few of my questions. Go on, then ask away. Events before I awoke. Officer Ma, were there any other people present when you arrived on the scene? What happened? Why are you asking such? Are you trying to say that I didn't protect the crime scene? Let me give you the facts. Everything is exactly the way it was when we arrived. No one's allowed to mess with the crime scene under my watch. You misunderstand me, Officer Ma. I just want to know what happened occurred before I awoke. Yeah. When we got here, Lo Shi-Wen was shaking the door, saying he smelled blood coming from inside. He smelled blood. Wow, he could smell that from far away. I was worried about Master Lo, so I opened up the door and kicked them right open. Simple as that. After that, well, you know what happened. I suppose no one could have come in or gone out during that period. Yeah. Obviously, I've got a soldier standing guard outside to the courtyard. We've searched the entire premise, but we didn't find others, during which no one left either. Okay, so that's why the murderer is definitely you. Who else could it be, huh? I understand. Once I complete my investigations, I will explain everything to you, Officer Ma. Go on then, ask away. Lope's relationships? I mean, he admired the victim. A great novelist, respected by everyone, sounds like it. Any relatives? His wife died young. They had no children. Okay, so he's a loner. He's got a good-for-nothing nephew. Okay, interesting. Over there, the one who won't quit sobbing. Aw, wait, that's sad. Stop crying already. I'm sick of that awful noise. Oh, alright. Sniffles, sobs. That's so sad. His nephew. No more questions. Let's go look at the crime scene some more. This is Lope's corpse. Should I commence an autopsy? I'm commencing autopsy. External autopsy. View autopsy. Interesting. Tab. Description. A male corpse declared legally deceased. What's up? Yeah, it is so sad. Hey K1 Noriega, what's happening? There's a white powder on the collar of the deceased. Do you see a butt? Yeah, watch out. There's a lot of those on Twitch, I feel like. Feels like something made from glutinous rice. These are crumbs from the rice cake. Well, so did he just eat a rice cake too? I feel like that's all that happened. It seems that Lope had eaten a rice cake right before he died. Yeah, and he got it all over of him. He was really enjoying that one. I guess the stab wound? Yeah, that's gotta be what killed him in my opinion. His chest is stained with blood. Among the 3 evident stab wounds, 2 were fatal. The wound is small and deep. The shape of the wound is consistent with the blood-stained knife. The locations of the 3 stab wounds are irregular and in different directions as well. 3 fatal stab wounds. Yeah, don't look at that. I'll cover it up with my little pointer right there. Well, I guess that's... Yeah, what are we looking at here? I searched the entire room, but it's nowhere to be found. If this is a locked room, how could the coat disappear out of thin air? Oh, doubt raised. Disappearing coat. I think the rice cake almost killed us. I mean, when we went down, he didn't even catch our body. He just let us stay there. And then he ate a rice cake? What did happen? Why would your friend come visit, eat a rice cake, pass out, and then you eat the same rice cake? Maybe he's still alive. I'm not unconvinced he's not alive right here. There were no abnormalities found on the limbs. Okay. Oh, wait. That is quite... What did we discover there? Defense wounds. He had no defense wounds? Don't appear in every homicide case. Limbs. No more abnormalities. No defense wounds. So what did he do over here? So we got the body, we got the limbs, we got his collar. Ooh, look, we can look at his lips. I'm sorry, little nephew over there. We gotta look at your uncle's lips. His mustache is crooked. On further investigation, there is glue on the other side. Is this not the real guy? The mustache shape looks Western, not Han Chinese. Apparently, the deceased is wearing a fake mustache. It's seeming more probable every minute. Like, he is a writer. Maybe he was like, for my final masterpiece. Hair. A faint fragrance can be smelled from the hair of the deceased. The scent is neither from flowers, nor incense, nor cologne. It seems to resemble a scent similar to camphor wood? Hints of camphor wood. What do you mean ew-y scents? Scents are obviously very important. The camphor wood. Death by stabbing, no defense wounds. We got an achievement. Wore a false mustache, only dressed in undergarments. Hair smelled of camphor wood. I have completed investigations on the corpse. I need to reconsider relative clouds of doubt. Did Lope commit suicide? Is it really Lope is what I want to know. Let's keep looking around. His desk is placed in front of the window. When I met him last night, he was bent over writing the entire time. Let me take a look at what he has on his desk. Yeah. What? Hey, what do you think you're doing? Quit moving around. I need to examine the desk, officer. Who knows if there are any unpublished manuscripts sitting on the desk? He's just jealous. Wow. Officer Ma, I understand your concerns, but I merely wish to investigate. I'll be careful. You better be. I'll be keeping a close eye on you. Crime scene investigation. Okay, so let's see. The candle had burned out some. A rack with 4 calligraphy brushes hanging on. Oh, I guess I looked at this instead. A piece of oil paper underneath the rack. Bent over writing. The ink on one of the calligraphy brushes has not dried out yet. Oh, I see that on this third one. What, can we read these manuscripts? A stack of books on the table, including The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Fact, late King Dynasty. What was that? How do we look at our fact book? That's what I want to know. This button? This button? No, I don't see it anywhere, actually. Oh, well. We'll find it from the menu. There's a pile of blank rice papers in the drawer with a paperweight placed on top. Ah, that's what the paperweight is for. Next to the papers are 2 pens, 3 candles, and a box of matches. Yeah, I'm detecting their dental record. It's very easy once you've mastered sense and blood splatter recognition and all of modern medicine, probably. I'm sure we're going to be able to figure out a lot of medicine stuff through just looking at their bodies. Here's a book titled Tales of the Moon Colony. There are several magazines underneath it all, which are illustrated fiction. a stack of newspapers, various issues of the Shanghai News of all published Lowe's Pays works. See, it says R right there, but R doesn't do anything. What can we circle these? A simple square-shaped inkstone. There are several plum blossoms engraved on this one side. There's a layer of residual ink on the inkstone that is starting to harden into a gelled state. I wonder what that could be. A common white pomelo candlestick. There is still half a stick of unburned candle on top. Alright, and we've got one more thing. Can we just do the desk? Can we do the window, maybe? A frame on the window that would stop a person from climbing in or out. Is the Kama Sutra one of the books? No, just mysteries. The Kama Sutra is trying to unravel... I guess it is trying to unravel a mystery in the same way. You know? Just a different mystery. One of love. And this is more a mystery of murdered people. Murdered writers. I think murdered writers. Wearing fake mustaches. This mustache is actually fake. It's on there really good, so I'm not going to take it off right now, you know? A frame on the window that would stop person from climbing in or out. Okay. We looked at all of his desk stuff. I was not able to find any useful clues. It seems like something's missing from the table. Unusualness of the desk. So look, if we press tab, we can come read about the late Qing Dynasty. By the end of the late Qing Dynasty, under the influence and intervention of new ideas, Chinese people were increasingly eager to explore Western culture. During this time, novels became new favorites due to its accessibility and capabilities of being widespread, amongst which Western detective fiction and its intricate plots and ingenious case designs became the top choice for the majority of people. The stories of Sherlock Holmes was a big hit ever since it was first translated into Chinese and published in the Current Affairs newspaper in 1896. Wow, that's actually kind of interesting that Sherlock Holmes was first published in Chinese in 1896. See, like I had no clue about any of that. Tales of the Moon Colony. Oh, what's up? Oh, you want your name up on our board? Welcome, new follower. We got the GoldenOunk board back here. K1 Noriega. I think I can figure that out. Welcome to the Unk Squad. I'm Golden, and everybody else is. I don't know the colors of everybody else, but I'll never figure it out. I mean, all my Twitch chatters, y'all are just one big lovely entity to me, you know? What were we... had no particular ending. It must have been a serialized... The subject of the novel is a peculiar balloon in which the main characters travel across the sea in search of his wife and children, while encountering aliens from the moon. The novel combines the vernacular style of traditional novels with the essence of science fiction, creating a work of high artistic value in the late King. That's interesting that they even had like science fiction back. I mean, I guess 1904 we had science fiction in English literature too, right? Did we? I guess. I don't know. What's the oldest like English science fiction novel? Detective. The Chinese word for detective appeared in the Song Dynasty. That was in 1960 to 1279, at the latest. Originally used as a verb to inspect and inquire, the word was later developed to also be used as a noun. For example, the arms mentioned in the Memoriam for the Appraisal of Matters in G-Town, written during the Ming Dynasty, included detective, which is equivalent to scouts in modern times. By the end of the Qing Dynasty and the beginning of the Republic of China, with the emergence of large quantities of detective fiction, such as Detective World and Sherlock Holmes, the term detective had evolved to specifically refer to investigators working on a case. Wow, just kind of like in English too. And then we've got some knowledge about these hesitation wounds. Also known as tentative cuts, refer to a series of self-inflicted shallow cuts made by people. Okay, but he didn't have those, right? That's kind of what we're saying. Is that we know he didn't. That's just our glossary. I like that whole time while we were reading those, I could just hear this guy crying from the outside. Like, come on, dude. Give me a second. A walnut bedside table. Okay, table, newspapers, undergarments and such. One of these, the news Lope of publishing his novel. The photo on the newspaper. Oh, the one on the left is Lope, and the one on the right seems to be the lady we saw last night cry. Oh, right. There was a lady there crying. Could it have been her? According to this, the young lady is Liu Pisheng, editor who helped Lope publish his books. Maybe she was in love with him. Anything else on the bed? There are piles of old books. They're all covered in dust, which means he hasn't read them yet. We figured that out last night. And this is just locked, right? A wardrobe, it's locked. I can try to pick it. I give up. Yep, sorry. If only Afu was here. He's very skilled in things like this. Dang. Wardrobe, wooden chest. Okay, what do you have for me, Lo Wen Shin? Do you have his... I guess we're trying to find his jacket. I'm asking you these questions for truth. You're the one who murdered him. There's no need for your crocodile tears. Someone murdered your uncle and framed me. I'm sure you would like to find out the truth as much as I do. Go on and ask then. Please tell me about the events you encountered this morning. Every morning I come by my uncle's place to help him with jobs that he's too busy to deal with. There has to be someone to take care of mundane tasks like cleaning up and feeding the chickens. What do you do for a living? My uncle pays me. I also help him organize his manuscripts sometimes. Look, he's got one in his hands. I understand. Please continue recounting what happened this morning. I came to visit Uncle like usual, but I couldn't hear a sound from the room, which was strange. He said crocodile tears. You know, a bully always calls you by the name they're the most afraid of being themselves. So maybe he's got crocodile tears. When I arrived, I saw Yang Er was already here. He said that he didn't see my uncle either. I knocked on the door for quite a while, but no one answered. I have a sensitive nose, so I kept sensing the smell of blood coming from inside the room. Do people really have that? Can you really smell blood from inside of a locked door? I felt like something was terribly wrong, so I told Yang Er to hurry and get someone. When we finally entered the room, I found that my uncle had been murdered. Go on and ask then. Within your uncle's interpersonal relationships, have you ever noticed someone suspicious? Aren't you the most suspicious person? Then let me pose this question differently. Did your uncle hold any grudges against anyone? We loved each other. You can smell, but could you smell it? Is it like a human that's just like, yeah, I smell really good? He had some grudge against Yang Er, the errand runner. What kind of grudge? Yang Er attempted to steal coins from the table during a delivery. What the heck? What? Yang Er was seized by the government and got beaten for it too. Jeez. For just a few coins, he got beaten? It was about half a month ago, so I'm sure he's still bitter about it. Yeah. Do you think that he would have murdered him? After all, he's the one who delivers rice cakes to my uncle. What? Well, I wonder what happened. Also, when I arrived here this morning, he was already here. I don't know how long he'd been. Now that I recall, he did have a sort of sneaky look on his face. Y'all thought it was me? This man's walking around with a sneaky look. It seems that it is necessary to talk about this issue with Yang Er. Go on and ask then. No more questions. What is this? My doubts. Oh, look, this is my doubting screen. Did Lope commit suicide? I did not find any hesitation wounds, which would have been very unusual. There's no injuries caused by a fight or a fall, so it's not really... Perhaps this can explain why there aren't any defense wounds present. Interesting. Why don't we think there are any defense wounds present? The disappearing coat? Maybe he was attacked and his coat was all torn up. You know? Although the scent on his hair could have been the guy if he was running errands like a woodcutter. We're gonna say the disappearing coat. Oh, no. That's unlikely. There's no correlation between them. Well, maybe the scent on his hair then? Dang. Now we're just guessing. Oh, I guess because he was knocked out too. That's what we should have said. The rice cake crumbs. I didn't think all of those through. Because he was knocked out from the rice cakes. Yeah. I need a fan like that. He was in a state of unconsciousness when he was murdered. There must have been another person in the room at the time. That person is the murderer. Who could it have been? How were they able to leave the locked room? No, he was murdered. Okay, we got that doubt. That haircut makes you look marvelous. Wow, thank you. You're making me blush. How did the murderer leave? Can we solve any of these other ones? Nothing useful on the desk. However, something felt unusual about it. What could it be? We don't know that yet. The disappearing coat. It is particularly odd that it's gone. The room was locked. This coat must definitely still be inside the room. Lope's relative. Did we ask him? Oh, maybe we should ask him about the coat now. We'll have that figured out. Could it be that Yang killed him out of revenge? Theoretically, Yang had the chance to tamper with the rice cakes. He also had the motive. Could it be that Yang killed him out of revenge? I need to confirm this issue with Yang. Hey, did you kill him? And how did the murderer leave? Because we locked the door. And the only way in or out seems to be going through there. Perhaps there's another way. He does have that axe. Look, we can talk to him again to ask him about the coat now. Your uncle's a tire coat, dear stalker. A false mustache, deer stalker. I wonder what that was supposed to mean. Your uncle's coat, deer stalker, and false mustache. Maybe that's that type of hat. You know? Was quite unusual. The hat and the mustache were all characteristics of his novelist identity. Yeah, I've been trying to get some characteristics of my streamer identity. He purposefully dressed himself up this way to become famous. I understand. So that ill-fitting strange coat was one of his characteristics? Strange coat? You mean that western wind coat he wore all the time? Yeah, that was part of it. Precisely, the wind coat made of silk. The tailor-made coat was one of my uncle's characteristics. He spent a lot to hire the best tailor and use the best fabric for the coat, but it turned out the fact that his wind coat is not... Wait, that felt like an unfinished sentence, but it turned out what? The fact that this wind coat is not present at the crime scene is what caught my attention. Oh yeah, we need to get him back on track. You're saying that my uncle's coat disappeared out of thin air? Look at that face, buddy. Calm yourself a little bit. Y'all can only see half of it right there, but he's freaking me out. Perhaps the murderer took it with them. The way you said it, Mr. Shin, sounds as if it were a plot from a novel. Okay. So we need to go out and look? Is that what you're telling me? We updated this. This coat was tailor-made. He always wore it. Something of such importance ought to be left at the scene. However, it is no longer in this room. The murderer is the only person who has left this room. He must have taken the coat with him. Okay, so he's got to have a reason to have taken the coat too. It's got to have what? Maybe it's rich? Should we talk to the judge? Examine front door. A simple and modest door made of pine wood. The broken latch still hangs on the door, exposing the brown lines within. Officer Mott, did you say that you broke this door latch with your kick? When I got here, that low Shinwen was shaking the door with all his might. What good would that do when the door is locked from inside? I got anxious, so I went up and bam, kicked the door right open. You like the tailor-made items? Yeah, can you get the... Do y'all ever make those kinds of over-the-top rain... What did he call them? Raincoats? When are y'all gonna start doing Chinese-style long jackets like this? That would be kind of awesome in my opinion. Look at this one. Y'all should do a suit coat that has something like that embroidered on it. I mean, that thing is beautiful back there. And you know that in the time period, you can tell that dude, the judge here is stacked because he's got that on. You know, he's out here in his drip. I got anxious, so I went up, bam, kicked the door right open. Simple modest door. Okay, we got another doubt from that or something. Look, I'll see if I can talk to him to show you. Judge Chang, did you notice anything out of the ordinary when you arrived? Look at this thing. It's beautiful. Well, I was not aware of anything unusual. Lo Shenwen shook the door. Officer Ma kicked it open, and we found you and Lo Pei covered in blood. I suppose no one suspicious was discovered during that process. Yeah. This one, it's given us a very, easing into some of the difficulty here. He's just talking about Lo Pei and everything. Yeah, I understand. Wow, he let us exit. I really thought we were gonna get a little... Shen, I've been waiting for you. Kufu, Afu, I hear there's been a murder in that house. His Honor has orders that there is to be no shouting at the crime scene. Look at this poor guy. Oh well. Shen, you don't look very well. Is everything alright? I'm fine, actually. However, I'm afraid I'll have to stay here until the truth is uncovered. I'm being investigated for the murder itself. Have you found the murderer? Who is the prime suspect? At the moment, the prime suspect is me. Uh-oh. I can't believe the murder was actually you, Shen. That's so funny. Let me help. Oh, thanks. What? His Honor has ordered that random people aren't allowed to enter. Soldier, I'm not just some random person. I'm the murderer's associate. His Honor has orders I need to guard this gate, so you aren't allowed to enter. Soldier, Judge Chang asked you to guard the gates and to keep out those uninvolved in the case, right? You're not wrong. If someone is relevant, should he be allowed to enter? I can't believe they're gonna bully this old man with logic games. That's true. Soldier, Shen is unfortunately a suspect in this case. He's trying to clear his name. As I am his trustworthy assistant, don't you think that I am also involved in this case? I get it now. I knew Soldier would understand. You're the accomplice. That's what I was trying to say. ... The accomplice is also involved in investigations. You can come in and be investigated. Investigations can't be delayed. Go on, get in. Shen Chengpeng briefed Afu on the case. And that's the general situation. Sigh. So that is your evaluation of the case? No, this is just a sigh for becoming an accomplice. Wow. It was good enough that they allowed you to come in. Hurry up and help me investigate. I like this guy. He brings some nice charm and likability to old Shen Chengpeng over here. Rice cakes. We want yang ear. Let's look at these rice cakes real quick, though. Do they look suspicious? Hey, Shen, what is this? These rice cakes are a local delicacy. I ate a piece last night and passed out instantly. Afu? Why did you pause, Shen? How do you feel after you ate a piece last night? I did not feel much. I ate a piece and lost consciousness right after. Seeing your reaction, this bundle of rice cakes is probably not laced with knockout drugs. Really threw him under the bus a bit there. Mr. Official, when can I go? I still have some steamed buns to deliver this morning. Excuse me, who may you be? My name is Yang. I run errands on the daily. I was the one who called the officials today. May I ask you about the case? Of course, everyone around knows that I am warm-hearted, considerate, helpful, friendly. I don't know if that's what that's giving right now. Okay, yeah. Just tell me about what happened this morning. Master Lo loves rice cakes. Every morning, Master Lo will ask me to deliver a bundle. As I specialize in errand running, my service is 100% impeccable. Everyone around knows. Yes, just tell me about what you saw when you arrived at Lo Pei's courtyard. Usually, Master Lo is already out of bed and exercising in the courtyard, waiting for me. Wow, imagine just being the errand guy that just delivers breakfast to everyone in the mornings. You know? You just bring them some steamed buns while they're training their steel buns, and you're just having a nice day out in the hood. Ooh, flashback. This morning, when I came to deliver the rice cakes as usual, I didn't see Lo Pei anywhere. I thought he probably overslept, so I hollered for him, but there was no response. I saw the gates were open, so I went inside the courtyard and put the rice cakes on the table. Then somebody called out to me. It was Master Lo's nephew, Lo Shihuen. So he went over to knock on the door, but there was still no response at all. Lo Shihuen smelled blood and asked me to call officials. I was so scared, so I ran all the way to the government office and got Officer Ma. Seems about right. Officer Ma and Lo Shihuen kicked open the door together while I waited outside. You mean to say that you never entered Lo Pei's house? After hearing someone died in there, my legs were scared stiff. How could I dare to go in? I was planning to leave, but a soldier came and blocked the gate, so I got stranded here. I understand now. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask? The grudge against Lo Pei? About the rice cakes. The rice cakes Lo Pei eats are delivered by you, is that right? Sure, I deliver them every day. Yeah. I passed out after eating a rice cake last night. Apparently, it was laced with knockout drugs. What? He looks a little sweaty. Wait a minute. He doesn't look actually that worried a little bit. I didn't do that. Don't say weird things. I have nothing against Lo Pei and have never even met you before. Why would I do that? Did the rice cakes you delivered to Lo Pei ever pass through the hands of someone else? Impossible. If something is handed to me, there's no way I'd give it to someone else. He's kind of like the mailman. But I heard he loves rice cakes. He'd never turn them down. Maybe it was a gift from a reader. Do you know of anyone who gifted him rice cakes? Not a clue. How about you let me go and ask Mr. Cow? Everyone around knows that I'm... Yeah. No, thank you. Is there anything else? Yeah, what about that grudge against Lo Pei? Should I get him to hype him up a little bit more? I bet he'd keep hyping him in this one. How much do you know about him? Master Lo is a celebrity. I'm just an errand runner. Since Officer Ma is familiar with Master Lo, why don't you go ask Officer Ma about... Okay, well... I caught sight of Master Lo and Officer Ma meeting in private several times, though. Are they close friends with one another? However, there was once when they got into a fight, and Officer Ma even unsheathed his blade. Well, he does that like every 2 seconds. What were they arguing about? I didn't have the guts to eavesdrop. Officer Ma was already fuming. I need to confirm the dispute with Officer Ma. Is there anything else? Yeah, what about this grudge? Younger, I heard that you once had a grudge with Lo Pei. Is that true? No way. How could I ever have the guts to hold a grudge against Master Lo? Lo Pei noticed you stealing his money, and you were beaten at the court for it. Am I wrong? That was a misunderstanding. He beat you up, didn't he? This guy beat you up and you're not mad about it? You're not mad at him? What do you mean that can't count as a grudge? I saw silver coins on the floor, so I just wanted to pick them up and return them to him. That's all in the past. If Mr. Shin hadn't reminded me, I would have forgotten about it already. Dude, he beat you up. That was only half a month ago. You're forgetting so soon? 2 weeks? That was 2 weeks ago, and you're like, nah, it's fine, he beat me up. Could it be that you felt wronged by Lope? Then you decided to kill him out of vengeance? That's wrongful accusation. I don't even have the guts to kill a chicken, let alone a person. When you arrived on scene this morning, were there any other people around? No, no one. But Lo Shihuan arrived pretty much right after. I've already told you everything about my morning in detail. Do you need me to repeat myself? No, thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask? No more questions. I don't know how that helped us too much. I guess we did find out that Ma and him might have a problem. I questioned him. Yang seemed somewhat flustered. Furthermore, he had a chance to temper with the rice cakes. Maybe he did kill him out of revenge. Yeah, I'm not... Officer Ma seemed quite aggressive. I don't really think he did it, but... I guess we could go see. He does seem very intent on making it look like it's my problem. Look, Shen, there are 2 free-range chickens here. I like free-range chickens. Sure, 2 chickens. Do you think they're involved in the case? I heard that the free-range chickens in this area have delicious meat because they walk so much. Wow. Did they have industrialized chickens already? Okay. Maybe he's just from the future. That's why he's only called Afu. The traveling detective partner. Alright, let's go back in. We got a little something to ask Ma. Yeah, who goes there? You have the nerve to break in? This is Afu. Oh, they're wondering about him. My assistant. Please allow him to assist me. We already made an exception by allowing your investigation. Now an assistant? Yeah, for real. Let me bring my accomplice in. He is mechanically minded and is skilled in comparing traces. He will be of great help. Oh, look, he's going to do the dental for us. That's how we'll solve the dental. That's called science. Clear your doubts, Officer Ma. He's wearing goggles. He's obviously a man of science. You have my gratitude, Your Honor. Humph. If you fail us, I'll add obstruction of official duties to your list of crimes. Yeah, I figured as much. Y'all have to throw that one in. Ooh, that one gave us an information? I wonder if we're gonna hear the obstruction of official duties. According to the new criminal code, the specific stipulations on the obstruction of official duties are any person who commits atrocities or coercion when an official is performing their duties shall be sentenced to a set term of imprisonment within the 4th degree, serve detention, or pay a fine of 300 yuan or less. The same applies to those who commit atrocities or coercion or use deception to influence officials or impose or remove certain sanctions or resign. Probably to remove certain sanctions or resign. Huh, so that was a real thing that... yeah, like the history of some of those laws is kind of... I don't know about. Like, when in America did we have, like, obstruction of the peace or, like, resisting arrest? When did resisting arrest become a law? That's what I want to know. You're all over the place. You're not messing with the crime scene, are you? Rest assured, Officer Ma, I'm a professional in that aspect. Yeah, let me ask you another question. What dispute did you have with Lope? The audacity! How dare you suspect me? I have yet to confirm a suspect now. I also believe that Officer Ma has nothing to hide. Humph, I bet you heard this rumor from Yang, didn't you? Master Lo enjoyed drinking with me and talking about my past cases, you know, for source material. That's why he did it. Source. But Master Lo is always listening to me and he rarely talks about himself, so I got to asking. Only then did I know how hard it was to write stuff, what he had to deal with from his fame. Oh, fame. It's such a curse. I was drunk and riled up, drawn out my sword to ask the gods why they'd make Master Lo suffer. Ah, he was born to put all of his talent into writing books. Yang saw us and when he came to deliver something, but I didn't know he would do me dirty like that. Me have a fight with Master Lo. Baloney. Look at him. Ask me more questions. Okay, yeah, I don't think he really did or not. Wait, what is this plate? There were several pieces of rice cakes on the plate, but now they're all gone. Hey, can you lockpick this for us now? You've got science, right? No problemo. This kind of bolt pen spring lock is a piece of cake. I will leave it to you then. What you doing touching that wardrobe for, you punk? I thought I told you not to mess with the crime scene. Officer Ma, this wardrobe is one of the few remaining blind spots. If this leads to an error in the investigation, surely no one would want to see that outcome. Of course, due diligence is crucial to this case. Judge Shang is a bro, let me tell ya. You better be careful when you're opening that. Don't worry, Mr. Officer, I'm an expert on locks. Click the cylinder to unlock it. Easy. Do we need to do that one first? Oh, maybe I need to go faster? Oh, it's just a different order. Okay, easy peasy. Nice. Haha, I did it. Crime scene investigation. Look, Shen, it looks like someone hid inside this wardrobe before. Partition board removed, clothes piled, enough space for one to hide. Could it be that the murderer once hid inside this wardrobe? There's no rush to jump to conclusions. Let us first examine the scene carefully. These are all clean clothes. They're now piled up on one side. These clothes are compressed. The board couldn't compress clothes all alone. Someone must have been sitting right here. Oh, no. Here. These are all clean clothes. Okay. Can I circle the board? Shen, there's a strip of cloth over here. Could this be a clue? Take it out for further examination. Alright. Shen, it's a bunched-up strip of cloth. It was probably used as a ribbon to tie up quilts. This ribbon is dirty in the middle. It seems to be smudged with dust. This quilt has traces of binding, so the ribbon most likely was removed from here. What? Why would someone remove the ribbon from a bundled quilt and stuff it inside the clothes? Indeed. What's... New clue. Tough fabric, smudged with dust in the middle. Used to tie quilts, but was removed and stuffed into the clothes pile. So maybe they had tied somebody up at some point? What's this little scrap? Yeah, what's that black spot? Afu, investigate. A wood chip. All of the clothes are clean. I guess a piece broke off from the partition board and landed there? No, the color and texture of this wood chip differs from that of the partition board. I'm knowledgeable in wood. Let me take a look. Oh, thank goodness. Afu's knowledgeable in wood. It really is different. Let me smell it as well. The scent. Without a doubt, it's not the same material as the partition board. Explain your deduction. Camphor wood wardrobes can repel insects and leaves a lasting fragrance on clothes stored within. Huh, like natural mothballs. However, this chip has no fragrance. It's brownish and hard. It seems more like pine wood. Why would a pine wood chip appear in a wardrobe made of camphor wood? Worth noting. Definitely worth noting. Yeah, we need to keep out for objects made from pine wood in this house. I mean, that's going to really solve the case, I think. A brown pine wood chip. I tried to say them all three at once. A prud chip. Found in the wardrobe. It is a material different from the partition board. Anything else I can circle, though? That's what I want to know. What's this? This seems quite odd. Shen, have you noticed something unusual? Look closely at the bottom of the wardrobe. The left side, with the clothes, has collected dust. Yet the empty space to the right is unusually clean, as if it had just been wiped. Then it seems like someone cleaned this place. Completed. Easy. So we need to look for pine? That's literally my next thing, is to look for some pine wood? Can we solve this? No, that one's not resolved. This ribbon is dirty in the middle. Shen, do you think the murderer took the ribbon to bind one of you? That's a reasonable guess. However, There are no rope marks present on both Lo Pei and me. We actually were thinking that ourselves. That's kind of... Yeah, Afu is with us. Oh, I see. Then again, this ribbon, I can't help but feel like I have seen it before. Where was it? I remember now. When I arrived last night, I saw cloth straps hanging from the ceiling. Up here? What? Could it be that Lo Pei was strangled to death before he was stabbed? No. Then there would have been strangulation marks, yeah. Peculiar wood chip. Maybe it came from the roof. Right? The wood chip appears to be between two piles of clean clothes and is a different wood. That's why we're interested. And if he got in there, perhaps the wood came from this place? I guess maybe the door. We'll have to go look at the door. Let's find clues. Because... Okay, we can't, like, look at the ceiling. How do we examine front door? Made of pine wood. Okay. I think that's gonna help us here. We can use reconsider. It depends on where it came from, which I think came from the front door. Shen, this wood chip fell from the door latch. The material and the texture is a perfect match with the door latch's fracture. Well done. This may just be the key to unfold the truth. But, very strange, how could a wood chip from the fracture of a door latch appear in a wardrobe? As the case gradually becomes clearer, the answer will come to light. Maybe it is Officer Ma. If he didn't really knock the door down, you know? And he's the one who would think he could get away with it. In my opinion, anyways. But I don't know. Mr. Shen, you've looked through the place. Should you explain your reasoning to Lord? Quit wasting time if you ain't got a proper answer. Just let me arrest you. Begin my deduction. Now? Shen, what do we do? There's still a lot of mysteries we haven't solved yet. Yeah, that's how I'm kind of feeling. We have already examined all the places that could be investigated within the courtyard. Even though the truth is yet to be clear, we need to discuss the case with Judge Shang. At least we could say there was another person. You know, maybe we haven't found the coat. Judge Shang, I believe we are now able to discuss this case. If so, you may begin. Deduction! The truth behind the locked door. When the deceased was discovered, this room was in a sealed-off state. Then, the window cannot be opened, leaving us the front door, locked from the inside. When the front door was reopened, the deceased and I were the only people inside the room. Under these circumstances, everyone, including myself, would instinctively believe that the murderer must be someone who is still within this room, which would be me. Hence, we have all neglected the possibility of a third person hiding inside this room. Alright then, tell me, where on earth would this third person be hiding? That would be the wardrobe! All traces within the wardrobe show that someone was hiding inside it not long ago. There was another person in the room? Mr. Shen, was the person hiding in the wardrobe the murderer? That is correct. That is so the murderer first hid inside the wardrobe, then after you and Lo Pei were drugged, he sneaked out, murdered Lo Pei, and framed you for it, right? Oh? Is that the truth behind this incident? It seems to conflict with the scenario in my memory. You're dilly-dallying, punk, running out of lies to tell? When I arrived last night, this wardrobe was already locked from the outside. If the person inside was the murderer, he would not have been able to get out by himself. You're quite perceptive. I'll give you that. However, the arrangement within the wardrobe is indeed puzzling. If the person inside hiding was not the murderer, who could it have been? Last night, I was the one who latched the door. Theoretically, it is highly unlikely for anyone else to enter the scene after that. There were books piled under the bed, and the wardrobe was locked. Nothing has changed. Evidence points to someone in the wardrobe. The only place to hide. A body? Maybe it was a body hidden in there. The bloodstains prove a third person, the actual murderer, was present at the time of the crime. If the person in the wardrobe was not the murderer, then it could only be this person. It's gotta be Lo Pei. Lo Pei is the murderer. He murdered somebody else and framed it on us. Because he's got a fake mustache. If the person hiding in the wardrobe was not the murderer, then it must have been Lo Pei. What? What a load of bull! Why would Master Lo hide inside his own wardrobe? Is he playing hide and seek? That is the only possibility left. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. There was someone under the books. Okay, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Mr. Shen, what is the reason for Lo Pei to hide inside the wardrobe? It was not of his own will. Ching! No, he did not hide inside the wardrobe of his own will. He was hid inside by someone else. If the person hiding inside the wardrobe last night was Lo Pei, then who did you meet? Indeed. Didn't you just say that you only saw Lo Pei in the room when you hung the door latch? I believe that the person I saw in this room last night was not Lo Pei. Because they were dressed just like him, and that's just a character. But the actual murderer! When I arrived at Lo Pei's house last night, the candle inside was still lit. But I had knocked on the door for quite some time before someone responded. Before opening the door, they even specifically tried to confirm if we had ever met before. If the person you met was not Lo Pei, how couldn't you recognize the corpse this morning? Last night, he wore a hat and mustache, had his back towards me. The lights were dim. By then, the real Lo Pei had eaten the drugged rice cakes and was moved inside the wardrobe. What you have just said does explain the presence of a third person within the room. Officer Ma, what do you reckon? I'm liking this music. These are all just speculations. You got any evidence that proves the person who is hiding inside the wardrobe was Master Lo? This rope. I don't know how it helps us. I actually don't feel like I do. We needed his coat. Hair smelled of camphor wood. That's gotta be it. Here's proof. He smells like it. This is the autopsy report from initial investigations. It'll explain a lot of questions. Lo Pei's hair smells of camphor wood. Duh. Confirming he hid inside the wardrobe. How is that so? Camphor wardrobes repel insects, Judge, and leaving a lasting fragrance on clothes stored within. Even if Lo Pei's clothes catch this scent, his hair shouldn't, unless Lo Pei was inside the wardrobe and his head was against the partition board the entire time. Don't you forget Master Lo usually wears a hat. That could have just been the scent from his hat. This hat has no scent. Coats and hats worn frequently don't go in the wardrobe. Come on. You don't have a wardrobe at home? You don't know that? Mr. Shen's deduction is indeed reasonable. What else have you found on the deceased? Look here. White glutinous rice powder on the collar of the deceased rice cake crumbs. This shows that, like I had, the deceased ate rice cakes and that were laced with knockout drugs. He was stabbed 3 times, yet the absence of defense wounds proves this point. He wore a loose fake mustache, likely removed and reattached. All of the details are able to confirm my deduction. That low pay I missed last night was actually impersonated by the murderer. What kind of person would dress up as Master Lo? Mr. Shen's deduction does hold some truth. However, up until Officer Ma broke down the door, the room was locked from the inside. Yeah, how could the murderer walk out of that room when it was locked from the inside, huh? The front doors are the only exit, and if the door latch can only be hung from the inside of the room, please have a look. This is the key evidence to solving the mystery of the door latch. It's gotta be this, right? The wood chip somehow? I'm not 100% sure how. Used to tie quilts, but was removed and stuffed into the clothes pile. Could that have something to do with it? Smudged with dust in the middle. He jerry-rigged something with this. Here's proof. It looks like we have like HP up here. Shen, I got it. The murderer likely hung the latch with the ribbon outside the house and then removed it. Afu, this ribbon was found inside a locked wardrobe. He would not have been able to lock the ribbon back inside the wardrobe. Oh, you're right. Sorry. I also just remembered that there are also windproof straps built into the door frame. It would be highly difficult to use that kind of technique with the ribbon. Oh, you two, what are you whispering about? You've come to a conclusion or not? Allow me to reconsider. Oh, it didn't hurt us. I thought that might hurt us, but I guess not. So, a simple door. The broken latch still hangs, exposing the brown lines within. I don't think it's that. It is like, how did he get out? I mean, that's kind of our question. The mystery of the door latch. The door latch still hangs on the door, exposing the brown lines within. The broken latch still hangs on the door. Maybe he had already broken it? Right? If he had already broken it, then he could have just opened it up. We're gonna try this. This is because then that shows that it was broken before, right? Ain't it normal for some stubble to fall from the partition board when it gets moving around? No. That's not what this is. The wardrobe chip did not fall into the partition board. It appeared on a pile of clean clothes. More importantly, the inner wardrobe is made of camphor wood, yet this wood chip is made of pine. We even matched it to the broken latch. This wood chip is a piece of stubble that flew off when the door latch was broken. So it couldn't have been this morning when it was broken. As Officer Ma kicked in, the wardrobe had been clearly locked until unlocked by Afu just now. This is extremely abnormal. Yeah, okay. That is strange. Why would the wood chip appear inside the wardrobe? The reason why it would appear in the wardrobe is because he broke it down beforehand. Whatever caused the wood chip to appear inside the wardrobe is insignificant. What we need to focus on is when the wood chip entered the wardrobe and what it uncovers. That sounds like good. Yeah. Mr. Shen, don't beat around the bush. What truth does it uncover? Simply put, the wardrobe flew off the broken latch before the wardrobe was locked, which wasn't this morning. Which means that when the door latch broke, the door of the wardrobe were still open. Yeah, it should be before you woke up, right? That is correct. Then doesn't that
说明
mean
在马捕头踹开门之
that
前，
means before Officer Ma
上的门
kicked
栓
open the door,
就已经
the
断了。
door latch was already broken.
换句话说，
In other words, this
这
is
根本
not a
不是什么
locked
密室。
room at all. Ah,
不愧是先
you're
生
the best, Shen.
我说呢，
No wonder the
那
door
个门
was
怎
so
么一
easy
手
to
就
kick
踹开了？
open. I just thought it was
当时还以为是
shabby
房
and
子的门
old.
凡有接触，
All contact
必有痕
leaves
迹。
traces.
凶手
The
自以为
murderer's
杀人嫁
plan
祸
was
计划天
flawed
衣
by a
无缝，
wood chip
却
left
是
in the
百密一疏。
wardrobe as incriminating
将木
evidence.
而这颗小小的木
Ching!
茬，
This tiny wood
不仅
chip
暴
not
露了
only
他的诡计，
exposed their cunning scheme,
更让我顺藤摸
but
瓜，
also allowed me to
推出了
follow
他的
his
真实身份。
footprints and deduce his true identity.
杀
What?
死罗
The
佩的凶
person
手
who
就是
murdered Lope is. What? Excuse me? I have to say one of them? The black chicken. I mean, I feel like all the evidence is pointing towards this guy, right? How do I confirm? Select. This person.
本案的凶手
The murder of this
正是
person
送
who
来炒糕
delivered
的
the rice cakes.
Yang
Yang
最容易在炒糕
He
里
is
下
the
药
one who is easily able to drug the rice cakes.
竟然是他。
So it was him.
先生，
Shin,
刚
didn't
你
you
还
say
说这
that
个羊
Yang
与
had
罗
no
佩无冤无
grudge
仇
against
应
Lope?
该没有动机
Did he
作
have
案
motive
在
to...
炒糕里下药的
There is
是
a lack of
证据
evidence
不
on
足
the matter of the drugged
还
rice
需要
cakes.
但想找出真相
However, to identify the actual murderer, drawing from their modus operandi, that's MO for short, that's what MO, that's gamer talk, modus operandi, is more than enough.
还是那个人
That
更
person
黑
is much more suspicious.
沈先生
Mr. Shen, this is a matter of grave importance. Please make your choice carefully. Oh, ouch.
杀死罗佩的凶手
The
就是
murder of Lope is... Can we identify? What? It wasn't him. Who was I saying I thought it was? Who do we have? Do we have the girl? Maybe Lo Shinwei. Does he have his jacket? I feel like I'm ending up... I feel like I did not have a lot of evidence here that made me feel confident in picking a murderer. I mean, the only other guy I could even think to say it was would be this guy. Lo Shihwin. Because he would have been there at the time. I mean, if he was saying he was getting there about the same time as him, I just don't understand why you would kill him for... if he's so sad about it. We were saying the crocodile tears, though, you know? He just is the only one who checks on him every day. Who I feel like could also have passed as him in the... beforehand, you know? This person.
本案的凶手
The murder of this case is you, Lo Shinwen.
你胡说！
You lie. How could I possibly kill my own uncle? He looks a little guilty.
老爷，
Judge Shang, please. He's trying to frame me.
这个嘛，
Well, you believe Lo Shinwei is the murderer? Where's the
我们刚分
evidence?
析过，
The door latch was not broken when the door was kicked open, but broken beforehand.
屋子呈现
The
的所谓密闭
so-called
状态，
sealed off state of this room was an illusion created by the murderer.
在整个过
He
程中，
appeared to knock on the
他看
door,
似是在敲
but he
门，
was just securing it
实则
from
是确保
unwanted entry.
直到马捕头出现，
Until
并上
Officer
前踹
Ma
门，
kicked the door.
凶手在马捕
That
头
is
踹
when
门
the
的瞬间
murderer
松手，
let go of the door.
这样就能先入
In
为
this
主，
way, he could
让大家
mislead
相信
everyone to
乌梅
believe
已
that the
反
door
锁，
was
进而误
locked
判
from
整
the
个案件。
inside. It feels like it should be a gotcha moment, but I'm the one who needs gotcha. This, I mean, we were kind of suspecting him. I just didn't think it was like that clear cut to say it was him.
你们都被他的演技
You
欺
have
骗
all been fooled by his performance. You know, as soon as he said crocodile tears, it's like I said, they try to call you what they're afraid of being. Hot damn, you treacherous leech. 你是坏了. Wait, what? That wasn't me.
罗世文，
Lo Shihun,
我必须
I
告
will
诉
tell you this. You are the
你的手
only
法
person who believes
你，只
your
是一个
tricks
自以
were
为很巧
clever.
妙的，因为他有一
That
个
is
软肋
because your scheme has a
足以
fatal
致命。
weakness.
是
What,
是
what weakness?
整个轨迹想
To
要成
ensure
功
the，success of your
你
plan,
必须保证
you
波
had
纹
to control the
始终
door
处在自
at
己的掌
all
控之中。
times.
我据此反推便能
Yeah.
确定，
Through reverse deduction, I can be sure that
罗世文
Lo Shenhuan, you
就是凶手
are。the murderer.
你
Yo,
你胡说。
you lie.
罗世文
Lo Shihun, is
事
there
到
anything
如
else you
今
want to say at this point? He's a
是个
liar,
人
deceiver,
人
a
心险恶
fibster, and a cheater,
恶意中伤
a phony,
伤
a
天害理
misleader. He was about to go off there. That was like
也
some
必须要说
bars,
点
it
什么了。
sounded like. I have something to say too.
沈先生，
Mr.
编
Shen,
了一个故
when
事，
you made up a story and
讲了
said
一
a
堆
bunch
歪
of
理。
absurd theories,
可是
did you really see it happen?
看见它发
Why
生
in
了
the
吗？
world should we believe
凭什么？
your words?
依我看
In，my opinion,
你才是
you're the
欺骗
one
大
who
家
is
的那个
fooling
人。
everyone.
你的这些说法又有什
Then,
么凭据？
what evidence do you have for saying that? There's a clear and simple reason. I have no motive to murder my uncle.
他找得很准
He，got me. I barely had time to investigate. I have yet to infer the
我还没
motive
能
of
完
the
全查
murder.
清事。
That was exactly what I was having problems with too. Lopez is my uncle, my family by blood. Why would I want to kill him?
更关键
What
的
more
问题在于
important is the problem
你我之间。
between you and me?
咱俩这是
This
第
is
一
the
次
first
见
time
面
we've ever met. Am I right?
没错，
That is correct.
此前你我
We've
素不
never
相
met
识。
each other before.
既然
If
素不
we've
相
never
识
met, why would I go through the trouble of framing you by killing my own uncle?
既然素
I
不相
couldn't
识
possibly have known about
当
your
然不可
visit.
能知道你
How
昨
could
天
I
晚上
design
会
a
来
plot to frame you? Unless we did meet last night when you were disguised.
他
It
是个
was a
巧，
coincidence that I had surprised you in your act.
巧合？
A
你
coincidence?
不是说一切都
Didn't
是
you
我
just
设
say
计好
that
的
all
诡
of this
计
was
吗？
a plot that I had designed?
沈先生，
Mr. Shen,
你们真的素不
is it
相识
true？that the two of you have never met?
的确如此。
That is correct.
既然你俩
If
不认
that's the
识，
case, then
罗
Lo
世文
Shihun
确实没道理
indeed has
陷
no
害你。
reason to frame you.
先生，情况对我们好像不太
Things
妙
aren't。looking too good for us.
沈先生，
Mr. Shen,
你是不是弄错了
could you
呀？
be mistaken? No way! Shen's deductions have never been wrong.
可以，
Deduction? More like a one-sided statement.
证据呢？
Where's the proof? Do you have any? You think this wood chip is enough? Ha!
这个嘛，
Well, Lo Shenwen also has a certain
罗世文
truth to
说
his
的
words.
也有
He
一
just
点道理
maniacally laughed. He's gonna maniacally laugh, and y'all are gonna be like, he's innocent. It's probably not him. He's just maniacally laughing
沈
at
先
you.
生，
Mr.
有
Shen,
进
do
一
you
步
have
的
any
证
further
据
evidence to
能
support
证
your
明你的
claims?
主张。
I guess I
如
can't
果
submit
没有证
maniacal
据的
laughter.
话，你确实
Accusing him
无法
without
告
proof
发
is
罗世文。
difficult and risks
要是
putting me in a
弄
tough
错
spot
了
if you're wrong. I'm sweating.
早就听说
There are
自己侦探的人
shameless
中
people
也有
who
不少
claim
无
to
耻
be
之徒。
detectives.
今日
Never
算是
thought
遇
I'd meet one today.
沈先生，
Mr. Shen, you ain't got no proof?
目前还没有，
Not at the moment.
那就只能把你
Then
们
you
都抓
leave
回
me
去。
no choice
大
but
刑
to
伺候
seize y'all and punish y'all with torture. Damn it.
都推
I
到这里
managed to come so far with my deduction.
还是要被他逃
Am
掉
I。really going to let him escape?
先生，
Shen,
你在努力
try to
想
think
想
harder.
是不是
Could it
还
be
会
that
有
we
什么
missed
线
some
索
kind of clue?
你不是说过吗？
Didn't you always say that you were really
你的记忆宫殿
confident in your
只有自己。
memory palace? The memory palace.
能告发罗世文的
Evidence that can
证
be
据
used to
一
accuse
定
Lo
还存在于这
Shenwen
个房间之中。
must still be in this room.
凡有接触，
my memory
必有痕迹。
All contact leaves
证据不是不
traces.
存在，
The evidence is not
只是未被发
non-existent,
现。
but instead undiscovered.
以本物之象，
I'm going in.
其本
All
事之象，
objects and all
四地
images
安
settle
顿于各
in
处。
different locations sequentially. What could it be? The crocodile tears. It
桌上
seems like something from the
到
table
底
is
缺少
missing.
了什么东西呢？
What could be missing? The handwritten manuscript? The one he was working on that night, right? is this persona? This is me doing personas, definitely. What could be missing from the table? The one he was working on. The wet brush? It has to be that. Porcelain inkwell. I guess there isn't an inkwell for him to be dipping the calligraphy brush in. But I'm gonna... Right? Isn't it this?
书桌上缺
The
少的
thing that
东
was
西。
missing from the table was Lopez
砚台上的
manuscript.
素墨还
Ink
没
on the
完全
inkstone
凝
is
结
yet dried,
毛笔
and
上
one
的
of the
墨也未
calligraphy
干，
brushes has not dried out either.
说明昨
It
晚有人在书
indicates
桌
someone
前
was writing at
写
the
过东西
desk last night.
可能是罗佩，
It could have been Lope
也可能是
or
假扮
Lo
成罗佩的
Shihuen,
罗世文。
who was impersonating Lope.
不管是谁，
The manuscript
现
should
场
have
都应
been
该留
left
下
at the
手写的
scene,
书稿。
unless someone took it away.
那些书稿，
When was the manuscript
是什么时候？
taken away?
这件事
I should have an impression
我
of
应该
this
有印
matter.
象的。调查这张书桌的
When
时候，
investigating the desk,
总有一种微
I
妙的
felt
异样感。
strange. I need to grasp onto this
那就是
feeling.
潜藏在我
That
记
will be
忆
the
中的
case breaker, hidden inside my memory. Isn't it right there? Look, it's in his hand. Oh, I'm reaching.
想起来了，
I remember now.
初次
I
醒
saw a
时
manuscript on the
我曾
desk
见
when
到
I
过桌
first
上摆着
awoke.
书稿，
That's why I felt odd during
这是第二。
investigations.
说明书稿
This means
是我
that the
醒来之后被
manuscript
拿
was
到的。
taken after I awoke.
有人在调查过
Someone
程中
concealed this
藏
clue
匿了
during
线索，
investigations.
是谁？
Who was it? Why would they do this?
可能性最大
The
的
most likely person
当然是
would be
凶
the
手。
murderer. However, there are
不过
still other possibilities.
其他的
Other
可能
possibilities? What? Who is this?
其他的可能
What's
性
the
出现的概率
probability
有
of the
多高？
emergence of other possibilities?
非常低，
Very low. Aside from the murderer,
现场
no
除
one
凶手
else
之
on
外，
scene had the motive to
没人有
conceal
动力藏匿线。
clues.
我们对这些低概率事
So,
件
how
的
do we
态度
treat
是
the these low probability events?
暂不列入
We
假设。
temporarily exclude them from our hypotheses.
我现在很忙，
I am really busy
你可以
right
走开
now.
吗？
Could you go away?
我在帮你梳理
I'm
案
helping
情
you
呢。
sort out your
大侦
case.
探，
Dajenta, great detective. Gajenta. I like that.
假设凶手在调
Assuming
查
the
过程
murderer
中
hid the manuscript,
藏匿了
this
书稿。
manuscript must be very important to him.
书稿
What could be written in the manuscript?
作案
Their
动机
motive, key evidence,
关键
last
证据
words, or was the manuscript
死亡遗言
itself valuable?
可能性
There are
太
too
多
many
了。
possibilities.
你更应该问
This
的
is
问
the
题是：
question you're supposed to be asking.
为什么白天
Why
有
would
风险
something
也要
he
拿走的东
risked
西
taking
当天
away in
晚上
broad
却没有拿
daylight
走
be left behind that night? They forgot it at the scene. Look at that. They forgot it at
虽
the
然有些
scene.
难以置信，
Although it sounds unbelievable,
但似乎
but the
凶手在离
murderer
开现场
forgot
时
something when they left the scene.
再次进入现场，
Upon returning, he recognized the
他意识到
manuscript's importance and
书
took the
稿
risk
可
of keeping it.
本案是蓄谋杀人。
This had to be a premeditated
诡计是
murder
事先
planned
计
in
划好的。
advance to be able to achieve
否则
such
无可否认
coherency.
凶手又是
The
个心思
murderer
缜
is a
密
very meticulous person. They
现场
also
有事情要处理。
reorganized the crime scene.
什么样的
What
事？
kind of thing could they have forgotten?
真的每件事情都在
Are you
凶手的
sure
计
that
划之
everything
中
went according to the murderer's plan? It didn't. I showed up. That's
有件
right.
事
There was one
凶手
thing
确
that
实
the
无法
murderer
计划。
could not have planned.
凶手计划之
What
外
was
的
not
事
part of
情
the murderer's plan? My arrival. Dun dun. I like that we have an inner demon we're battling. Even Lo Shenwen himself said that he could not possibly have known of my arrival.
但不管他是怎么说
However,
的，
he actually designed a
他事实
locked
上设计
room
了一个
and
密室。
framed me for this crime.
我成为这个杀
The
人计
most
划的一部分。
unreasonable part of all of this is that I became a part of his murder plan. I mean, some of these questions I feel like I'm able to answer. What if you hadn't appeared there? They would have another plan. Obviously.
显然，凶手还有另
Evidently,
一个杀
the
人计
murderer
划，
had another murder
也是他
plan,
原本的
which
方
was
案。
his original plan.
凶手没料到我
The
会注意到
murderer's plan was foiled by my surprise visit and insistence on meeting Lope.
得知我有
Realizing I had never met Lope, the killer improvised and posed as him to frame me.
那么凶手原本的计
So,
划是
what was the murderer's original plan? Probably frame another person? Falsify Lope's suicide could work? Because he was gonna tie those things up on the rafters, right? I think he was gonna tie him up on the rafters and put him up there. Falsify Lope's suicide.
如果我没有出现
If，I had not appeared, there would have been
这间密室中
only
就
Lopei's
只剩下
corpse.
很显然，
Evidently, the
凶手
murderer's
原本的计
original
划
plan
是
was
让
to
罗佩在
make
密室中
Lopei
杀
kill
死自己。
himself in the
他
locked
想伪
room.
造，说原计划是伪
If
造
the
自
original
杀。
plan was to
消失
falsify
的
a
书稿中
suicide,
就有可
what
能
could be
藏
hidden within the manuscript? A suicide note.
我知道了，
It is clear to me
现场
now. There
必然
must
会有
have been
一
a
份遗书。
suicide note left on the scene. Oh. Ah.
沈先生，
Mr. Shin, if you
再
keep
磨磨蹭蹭
waddling
来不
around,
走，
I've returned
不可
from my
小动
mind
作。
palace. Was Jimmy Neutron brain blasting just a mind palace? All along, he just went into his mind palace to brain blast. That's what that was. Wow, I can't believe I finally figured that out just now, playing Murders on Yangtze River. I'm gonna have to resort to violence.
且慢，
Hold on.
张知县
Judge Shang,
马捕头
Officer Ma, I am now aware of
我已经
all of
知
the
晓凶手的
murderer's schemes.
我
I, Shen
沈
Chengpeng,
正平
promise
定然还你们
to
一个
uncover
真
the
相。
truth.
大人，
Judge
不
Shang,
会再听他妖
there's
言
no
惑
need to
众。
listen to his fabrications any longer.
看你如此在
Seeing
意，
how much this bothers
本
you,
官
I
反倒
actually
想
would
再
like
给
to
沈
give
先生
Mr.
一个
Shin
机
another
会。
chance. He knows it's him.
沈先生，
Mr.
请说
Shin,
吧。
although I believe you
虽
are at the
然
end
本
of your
官觉
rope,
得你
you
应该
may
以
begin.
我与罗世文素
Lo
不相识，
Shihun and I are complete
却能成为他
strangers,
密室
yet
杀
I
人
became
诡
a
计中的
crucial
核
part
心
of
一
his
环。
scheme because
罗世文
Lo
临时改变了
Shihun
计划，
improvised his plan.
而他原本的
His
计划
original plan was to falsify Lopei's suicide. Ah! Ching! You got him! To falsify a
是伪造
suicide?
自杀吗？
Mr. Shin, do you have any
根
evidence?
据我的推理，
I believe the murderer accidentally
凶手
left a
在离开
forged
现场时。
suicide note here when he fled the scene.
哦，
Oh? There was
还有
such a
这种事。
thing? What?
沈先生，
Mr. Shin, how could you be so full of yourself at a time like this?
你要是有
If
什
you
么
found a
遗书
suicide note, take it out for everyone to see then. Can I
我
grab it
伪
out
造
of his
遗书一
hands?
事为真，本捕立马将罗世文拿下。
I'ma cut Lo Shihun in an instant.
马捕头，
Officer Ma,
我能问
may
你
I
一个问
ask
题？
you a question?
你说吧。
Go on.
我重新
Shoba.
开始，
When I first awoke,
曾见到
I
书桌
remember
上
seeing a
铺着一
piece
张
of
纸。
paper on the desk.
你可以-
Did you see it?
你这一说，
Now that you
好像还
mention
真
it,
是。
I think there was.
不过
But then again, I
我
don't
好像
remember
记不
that
太
clearly
清了。
either.
马捕头曾反复
Officer
强调，
Ma, have you repeatedly
允许任何
stressed
人
that
破
no
坏
one
现
is
场。
allowed to tamper with the crime scene?
然而在调查
However,
时，
during investigations,
凶手就是在
the
您的眼
murderer
皮子底下。
secretly hid the note under your nose.
我们一起再
Let
搜
us
查一
search
次
the
房间。
room again and
只要找
find
到
the
它。
suicide note. Mr.
沈
Shin, I advise you to stop stalling for time.
你编故
Your
事的能
ability
力
to make up
真是比我们这些
stories is
写
even
小说
better
的
than
表
us
现。
novelists. Us
沈先生，
novelists. Mr. Shin,
今日
I've already heard
本
a
官已经
handful
听
of
了很多的
deductions
推理
today.，
你的分析虽
Although
然
your
听着都挺
deductions
有
sound
道
quite
理，
reasonable
但
after
毕
all,
竟
they
只
are
是你的一
just
面之
one-sided
词。
statements.
本官断案，
I need to see
还是
solid
需要
evidence
看
to
到
settle this case.
张大人明
Judge
察秋
Shang
毫
is so perspicacious. Perspicacious?
你既然主张
Since
屋
you
内有
claim that there
伪
is
造
a
的遗
suicide
书，
note, you have the
你就有
obligation
义
to
务
find it.
本官再
I
给
will
你
give
最
you
后
one
一次
last
机会指
chance
出
to point out where
你说的
exactly
遗
that
书
suicide note you
就
speak of is.
县老爷，
Just Shang,
其实一
there's
次
not a
机
big
会
difference
和
between
两
one
次机会
chance
的
or
差
two
别也不大。
chances, perhaps.
在最后的
Give
一
me
次
one
机
last
会
chance. This is what
这是
Mr.
沈
Shin
先
said
生
himself
刚刚
just now.
感谢张知县
I am
允许
grateful, Judge Shang.
一次
One
机会
chance is more than enough.
根本
There's
就没
no
有这样
such
的证据
evidence
存在。
like that at all.
那么
So, Mr.
就
Shin,
请沈先生
please
指出吧。
point it out.
先生，咱们只有一次机会。
We
这
only
可
have
怎么
one
办？
chance left. What are we gonna do? At times like this, there is no choice but to take a gamble. Is it right here? Right? I mean, that's where I think it is. Is that he's holding it. He would have to be holding it. Where else could it be? We're just gonna say that. I mean, if we lose, we lose.
就藏在这个地方。
The suicide note is hidden right here. See, I need the fan, dude. That would be good. Also, he looked like he was wearing this in the other thing. Maybe he will once we get out of level 1.
当
Where?
然是藏在你身上。
Evidently, it is hidden on your person.
你
You lie.
我和马捕头
Officer
曾分别
Ma and I
搜索过
both
屋子内
searched
外
inside and outside this house, but no note was
那
found.
封伪造的遗
The
书
only possibility is that the forged
只可能还藏
suicide
在你的
note
身
is
上。
on you.
常大人，
Judge Shang, does Shen Chengpeng want to search my body without any clear evidence? I'm a scholar of Guimao Year. I don't kneel before officials.
这个嘛，
Well, fact unlocked. Privileges of the Chinese. Interesting. We'll
如
have to
果要
read
我说的
that.
更清楚一些，
If it is necessary to make myself more clear, this is the exact location. Point out the location of the suicide note. Right there. I'm glad it lets us confirm. Right? I mean, where else could it be? He's got it in his hand still. What? Would that? How could that possibly be hidden on me?
看你的表情，
The manuscript missing
桌上遗失的
should
书
be the
稿
book that you've been holding this
就是你手上一直握着的。
entire time.
伪造的遗书
The
一定
forged
也藏在
suicide note must be hidden within it. No, that's not.
马捕头，
Officer Ma, take that book for examination.
卢世文，
Lo Shihun, stay where you are and don't you dare move. Hand over that book. You what? Gah, don't come near me.
手子，
You punk, stop eating the books. He's eating them. Stop that. Huh? Look, there actually was a piece of paper folded in here. All of these punching noises.
我曾
I
以
inked a
死
pact
亡
with
签
death,
契
awaited his
静
arrival
候他的
patiently.
到来
Tonight, he finally knocked on my door.
烦请侄儿
I
世
trouble
文
my last
处
of
理
kin,
我身后
Lo
之事
Shihun, to
一切
handle my
从
affairs.
简即可。
Please keep matters simple.
沈先生
An
料事
accurate
如神
4telling, Mr.
还
Shin.
真是一
This
场
is
遗书
indeed a suicide note. Wow.
卢世文，
Lo Shihun, you ungrateful little bastard. Master Lo treated you with love and care. How could you do something like this to him? I'm gonna sharpen my sword with that head of yours if it's the last thing I do. That's nonsense. He's the one who let me down.
罗世文，
So, Le Shinwen, are you admitting you killed Lo Pei? This is slander, lies. No. It wasn't me.
罗世文，
Lo Shihun, no matter the circumstances, murder was not an
都不该
option,
动杀人之心。
nor was framing the innocent.
沈先生，
Mr. Shin, could you recall the sequence of events in this entire case for me?
秉征大人，
Sure. The initial plan was to drug Lo Pei and use the ribbon in the wardrobe to kill him.
然后利用
By
门栓
using the
诡计
door latch, he could create an illusion
他
of
在
Lo
密闭
Pei
房间
hanging
内
himself in a
上吊
locked
自
room.
杀。不料，
However, during his active
行凶的
murder,
过程
I arrived
我突
unexpectedly,
然到访，
insisting on meeting with Lo Pei. Therefore, his only option was to improvise his plan and frame Shen for the murder.
在我晕倒后，
Lo Shihun drugged me, killed Lo Pei, and framed me by placing the knife in my hands.
然后按原计划，
He thereupon broke the door latch according to the original plan to create a locked room. Excuse
却
me.
不知天网。
Not knowing that justice has long arms.
在现实中
How
杀
could
人
murder in reality be the same as imagination as the imagination of committing crimes in novels?
死
Totally
者胸口
different.
被刺后，
The
流了很
deceased
多
bled
血
profusely, and it also took longer than he expected to
也
set
比
up
他
the
预计的
scene.
要他忙中出
As he
乱
was in a hurry, there were many loopholes.
漏洞。
Loopholes? What
什么漏洞？
loopholes?
在弄断门
1.
栓时，
When he broke the door latch, he did not notice the wood chip that flew into his sleeves.
他没有时间换
2.
内裤带
He has no
整理
time to organize the wardrobe and simply stuffed ribbon into the clothes pile.
不料
3. Without notice, the wood chip slipped from his sleeve and was left in the locked wardrobe.
最致命。
The most fatal one was that he actually forgot to take the suicide note with him.
为此，
So he took away the manuscript from the table and he hid the note in it this
我
morning.
说的没错，
Am I mistaken, Lo Shihun? You are the culprit
就
who
是杀
murdered
害
Lo
罗佩
Pei.
的凶手。
You are the culprit who murdered Lo Pei. Yeah. No. None of you could truly understand. That's mine. It belongs to me. All of this is mine. How could this? How could I? No. No way. What?
这小子
Look at this
竟然直接
punk.
晕了
He
过去。
just fainted. Mr. Shen, your performance has impressed me deeply. Wow, thanks, Judge Shang. Not only were you able to clear your name, you also uncovered the culprit. Ooh, we got a thumbs up. Extraordinary! However, I still have a glimmer of doubt.
大人请讲。
Pray tell, Your Honor.
我刚比较
The
了遗书
handwriting
上
in
的
the
字
suicide
迹
note
与
and
罗佩
Lopez
手稿上的
manuscript
字迹，
is
两
strikingly
者
similar.
罗世文尚
Lo
未承认
Shihun
罪
has
行
not，confessed,
杀人的动
and his
机
motive
亦
is
不
not
清
clear.
晰。若
This
那遗
case
书是真
faces
的，
many
本
variables.
案
如果想要此案成为
In
铁
order
案，
for this to become an
还
ironclad
需要找到
case,
更多
more
的证据。
evidence needs to be found. Am I correct?
哦，对对对，
Yes,
不
that's
知
right,
沈
that's
先
right.
生有何高见？
What do you reckon, Mr. Shin?
罗世文假扮罗
Lo
佩时，
Shihun
穿着他的
wore
风衣外套。
Lopez's coat when he was
那件外套
impersonating
从案
him.
发现场消失了，
That coat is missing.
应该是在
He
罗世文第
probably
一
took
次
the
离开
coat
现
when he
场时
first left the
被他带
scene.
走了。
He must have a compelling reason.
哦，
Oh?
什么理
What
由？
reason is that?
我猜
I suspect it was
罗世文
stained
是
with
穿
the
着那件外
victim's
套行
blood.
凶的。还有带蒙汗药的
The
草稿
drugged rice cakes, as
别在
well,
布置完现
Lo
场后，
Shihun
被
must
罗
have
世文
taken
带
them
走，
away.
留给他处理
He
的时
didn't
间
have
有
much
限。
time to deal with
这些
these
东西
items, so they could
还在
still
某
be
个地
hidden
方。
somewhere.
这个嘛，
Officer Ma, what do you reckon?
如果发现罗世文藏
If
匿
we
了血
find
衣，
out that Lo Shihun's hiding a
此案必然是
bloodstained
结案了。
coat, then the case is closed.
我这就派
I'll
人搜
send
索去。
people out to search for it right away.
这
Well,
一来，
well, what's left of this matter is all procedural.
今天委屈沈
You have
先生
suffered
了，
injustice today,
咱们
Mr.
一同
Shin.
离开此地吧。
Let's leave this place together. Dun dun! Case 1. Unexpected misfortune. Solved. Case solved. Nice work. A good little intro.
案子破了，
Shin,
先生看起
you
来
don't
不是
seem
很开
particularly
心，
happy, even though the case is closed.
是因为
Is it
还没
because
搞
you
清楚
still
作案
haven't
动机
figured
吗
out the motive?
这个不着
Don't
急
worry
啊
about it.
等罗
We'll
世文
just go
醒
and
来再
ask
去
Lo
问问就是
Shihun
了。
after he wakes up.
阿福，
Afu,
你可还记得
do you still
我来
remember
找
the
罗佩的
reason I
原因？
came to visit Lope?
是为了查3年
For
前
the
英国伦敦
investigation of the
先生
unsolved
哥哥
case
的
of
那起
Shin's
悬
brother
案
in London. 3 years ago. Oh, my brother in
先
London.
生说过，
There I
罗
am
佩
at
的
the
书
middle of it
稿
all.
似乎与
You
那起
said
案
that
件有关。
Lope's novel was related to the unsolved case on your brother.
那起案子？
Due to the
因为案发地点的特殊性，
particularity of the location of the
苏格
crime,
兰场下令
Scotland Yard ordered secrecy.
接触过案件细节的
Including
人
me, perhaps no
Leon
more
Zhang.
than 5 people have been
他也不超过
exposed to
5
the
个。
details of this case. There's the autopsy, some sort of drugs, a wheel on a chain, and like bones? A dead guy on a chair.
我无意中在护报上
Recently,
看到一部
I
连载的
stumbled
侦探
upon
小
a
说
new，detective fiction published in the Shanghai News.
就是罗佩写的那部。
Is it the
董事
confined
一
room
阵吗
mystery written by Lope?
是的，
That is correct.
按理说
A novelist living in
这
rural
个远在湖
Hunan
南
could
乡
not
镇里的侦
possibly
探小
have
说家，
connections to the London case.
但诡异的是，
What was eerie about this was,
先生，
Shin,
难道说
could it be that
罗佩小说
the
中的作案
details
细
of the
节
crimes written in Lope's
案子
novels
一模
are
一样。
exactly the same as that case?
罗佩这
Now
一
that
死
Lope is dead,
线索又
we've
断了。
lost another lead. Yeah, that's a big
眼
lead
下
to
仅存的
lose.
希望，
Our only hope
是
is
昏迷
Lo
中的罗世
Shihun.
文。
Perhaps he will know of something,
也许
but he's still unconscious.
既然这样，
If that's the
不如
case, why don't
先去吃
we
个早点
go
吧。
grab some breakfast, Shen? Ooh, that sounds kind of... I like that idea.
先生，
Let me
跟你
tell
说
you something, Shen.
刚我路过一
I
家小
walked
吃
past
摊，
this food stall earlier.
那里卖
The
的臭豆腐
fermented bean
闻起来
curd they were
特
selling
别
smelled
香。
really yummy. Case number 1 closed. We found out a poor unk out there, killed by his ungrateful nephew. A few hours later,
还是外面空气好。
the air outside is indeed much better.
先生，
Shen,
我们
let's
去
go
吃
have
糖油
some
粑粑吧。
sweet fried donut twists. That
你不是
sounds
刚跟张
good.
之相拍胸脯？
Didn't you
说
just
要帮他
promise
找
Judge
原因
Shang to help him find the coat? Flashback.
既然阿福兄弟
Since
愿意
Afu is
帮
willing
忙
to help, it is certain that we will soon find
必
Lope's
定
coat.
是马捕头
Officer Ma,
也不必
you
安
needed to
排
ring
衙
for
役们去
soldiers
找
to
了。
search anymore. What? He's got it. Apu's got it. He can figure it out all himself. don't send
我
us
这
any
不
help.
是想
You
找个
know?
理由出来转转吗？
I just want to find a reason to go out for a walk.
在衙门里干
We
等了一
waited in
上
the
午，
court all
那罗世
morning.
文
Lo
还没醒，
Shih-Hun still hasn't
可把我
awakened.
闷
It's
坏了。
just really boring.
那待会儿知县问起来，
If the judge
你打算怎么
asks,
交差？
how will you explain yourself? Well,
这不还
I
有
count
先
on
生
you,
吗？
Shen. Mm-hmm.
我可没答应
Always
帮忙。
looking up for trouble. And I didn't agree to help.
唉，
I suddenly
顺便
lost
没
the
有
mood
先
to
生
look
找
for
好吃的。
delicious food. Delicious food,
走
you
不走？
say? Are you coming or not?
要
Where?
罗世文家，
To Lo Shih-Hun's house.
他首
It
次
was
作
his
案，
first crime.
经验不足，
There
时
might
间
be
有限。
clues.
嘿嘿，
Shen, you come up with the
先生的思路
directions so
就是这样。
clearly. Yeah, he really did. Master Lo was murdered? Ranking list. Oh, there's a circle drawn on this paper, and there are also many words written on it. This seems to be a pass list of the candidate examination. I'm not sure why it's here, though. Wow, all these people on this list are scholars? These all look the same. The candidate examination is divided into county level, prefectural level, and academia level. This list is for the county level examination. But what, Shen? Nothing. What? The candidate examination, or Tongxi, is the primary level examination in the imperial examination system. It consists of 3 levels of examination: country, prefecture, and academy. After each examination, the examinee's number is announced in the form of a circle. The first examinee's number is raised by 1 character and located at the highest point of the circle center. Other numbers are arranged counterclockwise. The center of the circle is written with a red character, which has a long vertical line and a short horizontal line, like the beginning of the character such and such, which means auspicious. Interesting. So this one is the best, and then it kind of goes backwards from there, I guess? Best viewers on steamboo.com. Thanks, Mr. Cat, LOL. I love to hear it, you know? I think we already have the best viewers. Who needs any more? Gods bless me. We also wanted to see some more history for a second. The privileges of cultivated talents. A scholar who has passed the county level imperial examination is known as a cultivated talent. Wow. Compared to the general public, they had certain privileges. Cultivated talents were able to write a letter of request when they needed to report something to the local authorities, whilst the general public could only write a petition, a letter of request. When facing a magistrate, cultivated talents folded their hands in front and bowed as a courtesy instead of kneeling. Local authorities were not allowed to punish them at will. The general public could not address cultivated talents by their names and had to greet them as my lord. The front door of the cultivated talents' house was 3 inches taller than others? What? Cultivated talents were exempted from partial taxes as well as statute labor. Huh. So they were definitely given special privileges. That's kind of interesting. Gate soldiers. This is not the direction. I wanted to see who this friendly old man is over there. They will let me look at him? Say hello? See what he's up to? Oh look, it's Shoulder Shen. Shen, is this Lo Shih-Hun's house? That's correct. Sorry, Officer Ma has issued an order that no one is allowed to enter. Soldier, do you remember us? We're the detectives who solved the Lo Pace case this morning. I remember. You're the accomplice. Hey. That's what he sounded like right there. Accomplice is not allowed to enter. Soldier, we were entrusted by Judge Shang to look for evidence. Please let us in. Alright, go in then. Can we get this up on the roof? Lord has instructed if it's Detective Shen investigating the case, we should cooperate. Your words really work. Nice. But it doesn't look like it's letting us go up there. Enter Lo Shih-Hun's house. It's quite hot. Not only is it hot, but it's also very stuffy. What's that? It's just the beginning of autumn. Why did he start burning charcoal? Does Lo Shihuin have a weak body, needing to cover himself with a quilt even in the hot summer? Afu, do not make assumptions. Shen, let's finish the search as soon as possible and leave quickly. Newspaper on the floor. There's a newspaper. This is the report about Lo Pei, but the faces of both people in the photo were repeatedly punctured. Oh, what happened to the woman? That's who we'll need to find. This should be an act of venting anger. How much resentment must have been in Lo Shihuin's heart? Yeah, that is kind of sad. A wooden bed? Judging from the color of the wood, it's been around for some years. I can't look at the furnace, I guess. Hey, look, it's another of these cabinets. Food box on the table, marks on the wall. Wow, isn't this the delivery food box from Ciao Snacks? The snack shop is quite famous locally. Let's see what delicious food is in the food box. Afu, don't touch other people's belongings without permission. Anyway, Lo Shihuin won't be back. What a pity to let it go to waste. I'll take care of it instead. A basket of steamed buns. Are these gonna be drugged? They're all mine. Good night. It's so hot in here. These buns may have stayed here for 6 hours. Be careful, they might have spoiled. Don't worry, Shen, it's not spoiled. These steamed buns are incredibly delicious. Dang, there's all that's making me hungry. Marks on the wall. This wall is missing something. The blank space on the wall seems to be cleaner than the rest. Can you analyze the possible reasons for it? Analyzing. Goggles on. Something was moved. There used to be a calligraphy or painting hanging on it, but they were recently taken down? Exactly. A bunch of shelves. I want that thing on the top. The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, The Adventures of New Treaty, The Case of Identity. Shen, these are all detective novels. Translations of Sherlock Holmes. Shen, don't you think the middle of a bookshelf feels particularly empty? Yeah, like here? Judging from the imprints on the partition, there used to be some ceramic vessels in the middle of the bookshelf, but now they're gone. Sorry, I kind of have the hiccups all of a sudden. Bottom shelf? I wonder what's in this cabinet. Let's open it and see. Cha-chink. Many crumpled papers are falling out. Let's see what's written. 30 minutes later. Wow, they really were reading this stuff. The killer attacked someone with a rod, but it rebounded and knocked himself unconscious. So the victim turned into the killer, and the killer turned into the victim. Shen, it appears that all the crumpled papers in this cabinet are discarded novel manuscripts. Very likely indeed. I didn't expect that Lo Shihuin was actually writing novels. Shen, what do you think of his writing? His ideas are unique, but his writing techniques are not yet mature enough. Is writing technique important, Shen? Certainly. If one has ideas without proper techniques, it is hard to create a good story. Clearly, Lo Shihuin was not satisfied with his own writing either. Having crumpled them into paper balls yet not wanting to discard them. Indeed, Lo Shihuin's life seems rather awkward. Look at this one, though. It seems that someone is helping Lo Shihuin improve his writing technique. Interesting. These few sheets of paper all have notes written in a delicate and elegant handwriting. Wait, I couldn't understand. Look at that more? We'll look at the middle shelf, too. I think the bottom one was important. A pill bottle, knockout drug. Let's take a look. Smoking cessation pills. Does this Lo Shihuin smoke opium too? It's highly possible. You know, murder, the next thing you know. Who's depicted in this portrait? Y'all can't see it, but there's a little, Look, there, it's on that side now. Hung the portrait criminal of a criminal mastermind so he could look at him while he was writing. He admired him quite a lot. No wonder he became a murderer. There's some indentions on this paper that look like handwriting. I see. These are the traces left by a fountain pen. Yes, someone used a fountain pen on the table to write something. Like a manuscript? But the paper within the words has already been taken. And we couldn't find out what was in this box? Okay, now we can see the wardrobe. Yeah. Get it open. I would definitely hide the bloodstained clothes in there. Yeah, well... Luckily I'm good at these. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. So we go 1, 2. 1, 2. 3. Oh, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Easy. Oh no! I can't believe it. How could... It's her, too. Lady in the Wardrobe, Chapter 2. Wow, I was not expecting us to be thrown right. What? Shen...
这柜子里躺着一个女鬼啊！
A ghost is lying in this wardrobe.
是一具女尸。
It's a female body, and she has been dead for some time.
昨天晚上
Did we see
我们是
see her last night?
沈先生
Mr. Shen, I think I heard someone screaming inside the house. What? What's this? Another body. Someone died. Could it be Lo Shehuen again?
军爷，
Soldier, let's not rush to conclusions.
先容我们调查
Allow
一
us
下
to
尸体。
examine the body first. Yeah, go get the judge or something. External autopsy. This is the girl we encountered by the creek last night. I also saw her photo in the newspaper. Dang, I was just saying, maybe we'll get to meet her, and that'll help us lead us on the way. Her name is Liu Pingxing, editor at the Golden Words Publishing House. She was a longtime partner of Lope and was responsible for editing all of his books. The boat that the team is dead. Fact we got. We can only determine after a thorough investigation of her body. Okay, well, let's look at her hands. Livor mortis was found on the wrists. Yeah, what is livor mortis? Abrasions and contusions on the fingertips with minor subcutaneous bleeding. Fingernails and surrounding skin damaged, possibly from scratching or clawing. Common defensive wounds in strangulation cases. Victims struggled before death. Indicative of a struggle. I'll have to look to see what that other thing meant. It does look like she was maybe... There's a deep red mark below the throat with localized discoloration and epidermal peeling. There seems to be symptoms of fractured laryngeal cartilage. This is a fatal injury. She was strangled to death. The strangulation mark is thick, long, no sign of finger pressure or crescent-shaped nail marks. It shows a weapon was used. The murderer may have used a rod-like object to strangle the victim. What's this? There are also 2 vertical marks evenly distributed on the surface. See here and here. Afu, this needs to be documented separately. Long strangulation marks on the victim's neck with 2 vertical marks distributed on the surface. Got it. The weapon is a rod with 2 vertical marks. Lethal strangulation marks. Alright, what's wrong with her face? The deceased face is notably bruised and swollen, with a bluish purple color. It's probably caused by strangulation of the neck and obstruction of blood flow. Bruised and swollen, turned bluish purple. Okay. Her jaw joint, neck muscles, upper limb muscles, and leg joints are all exhibiting rigor mortis. Rigor mortis has spread throughout the whole body. No signs of relaxation yet. Entire body in rigor mortis, no signs of subsiding. Feet. Livor mortis is present at the ankles. There is stiffness present in the toe joints. Do you think I was wiggling her toe joints? Body we got, feet we got. Anything else? Mouth. We always need to get the mouth. Blood foam at the corner of the mouth. There's also white powder on the lips. The white powder looks somewhat familiar. Shen, let me take a look. Sniff, sniff. There's a smell of rice. Yes, it is crumbs from a rice cake. Could it be that this girl, like you, ate the rice cake with knockout drugs? It is possible. Okay, verified. The woman's body. How are the results of the investigation? The girl in the wardrobe was strangled by a blunt weapon. The time of her death? Her body shows total rigor mortis with no signs of relaxation. The finger and toe joints are stiff. Preliminary assessment indicates that the victim was killed approximately 14 hours ago. Wow, he is good at that. But the time of death can be influenced by various factors. My judgment may not be precise. It will be advisable to have a coroner conduct further examinations for more accurate analysis. It's good that she did not die during my shift. I wonder, when you came on duty, was there anyone else who rotated shifts with you? Afternoon, not long before I came on duty, Officer Ma assigned only me to guard. It's currently 2 p.m., which means that you arrived less than 2 hours ago. It seems that you have limited information as well. Then what should I do next? It's a murder case. Go and report to Judge Shang right away. Then what should we do next? We need to reinvestigate this room from the perspective of a crime scene. Charcoal pot. I'll extinguish the charcoal blazer. Yeah, that seems good. Shen, look. It is partially burned fabric, isn't it? This is silk. From the color and pattern, it looks like the type of fabric as Lopei's long-lost coat. Could this be the bloodstained clothes we've been looking for? Lo Shehuan was wearing that overcoat when he disguised himself as Lopei. The fabric is quite distinctive, so I think I could mistakenly identify it. Is quite distinctive, so I don't think I could mistakenly identify it. It seems that Lo Shehuan used the charcoal brazier to burn the evidence. There is a possibility of that. Not long ago, fragments of the coat were found in it. Although there remains only fragments, but these should be enough to report to Judge Shang. Okay, and we need to find out, let's go to our knowledge here. What is liver mortis? Scroll up. The liver mortis refers to the visible purple-red bruises formed by the cessation of blood circulation and accumulation of blood in the lower parts of the body after death. Time, pressure, and cause of death can all affect the shape and color of liver mortis. The liver mortis can be used to determine the time of death, the posture of death, and whether there have been any changes in the state of the body. I didn't know all that. Rigor mortis is... The rigor mortis refers to the phenomenon of muscle rigidity and contracture after death. It usually begins to appear 1 to 3 hours after death and spreads to the masseter muscle from the massier, like the larger muscles, to the entire body, the masseter muscle. I wonder what that is. The degree of rigor mortis can be used to determine the time of death, but factors such as external temperature and the physical condition of the deceased need to be considered. Joint stiffness refers to the gradual stiffening and contraction of muscles after an organism's death, resulting in the fixation of finger and toe joints, making them difficult to bend or flex freely. This typical condition indicates that death occurred at least 9 to 12 hours prior. Gotcha. And then we got some pictures. Conan Tao? Arthur Conan Doyle, you think? Conan Doyle. Dow? Like, since it's like a T? Doyle? The translated name for Arthur Conan Doyle. That's kind of funny. The author of the Sherlock Holmes stories is one of the most significant authors in the history of detective fiction. Conan Doyle originally pursued a career in medicine. After graduating, he opened a private clinic, which unfortunately did not attract many patients. Instead, the novels he wrote in his spare time gained immense popularity. Besides the Sherlock Holmes stories, he also wrote novels in genres including romance, science fiction, and historical fiction. Huh, I didn't know he was going to be a doctor first. James Moriarty, Mo-Litai, is the translated name for Professor James Moriarty, the famous villain in the stories of Sherlock Holmes. He was dubbed the Napoleon of crime, outwardly a university mathematics professor with a respectable reputation, but secretly the head of a global criminal organization, masterminding half of the crimes in London. The inspiration for this character is widely to believe have been drawn from Adam Worth, a notorious criminal from the 19th century. Huh. And then Xian Sheng literally means the one who is born first in Chinese, but has extended to become a respectful term for a knowledgeable person, regardless of gender. I kind of like that. Jiansheng? In the Book of Rituals, it is mentioned, when you meet the Jiansheng, you should not go beyond the road to engage in conversation with others, which refers to addressing a teacher as Xiansheng. So I wonder if it's like senpai. Additionally, the term has been used to address male spouses, officials, accountants, Taoist priests, and others. In modern times, influenced by the English word Mr., Jiao Shen, Shan Sheng has become to be used as a term of respect for males. Huh. Jian Sheng. Jian Sheng. Jian Sheng? I wonder if I'm saying that right. Okay, that's just our script. We looked at the bed. Marks on the wall. Newspaper on the floor. I mean, now we know why he killed both of them. Yeah, we had kind of seen that before. What do you make of the marks on the walls related to the murder case? Yeah, I don't know anything right now. It's possible that there is no indirect connection. I'll take note of it. Good. Yeah. A noticeable clean blank spot on the wall where something like a scroll is hanging, but is now missing. Shen, look here. I found crucial evidence. What evidence? Footprints. They must have been left by the murderer. How about you take this opportunity to review the method of footprint analysis? You mentioned a proportional relationship between height and bare foot length? Footprint size doesn't equal barefoot length. We should consider shoe type and features. By subtracting inner and outer differences and allowing for space, you can get the barefoot length. Lastly, multiply the length of the barefoot by 7. Then you can roughly estimate the height of the murderer. Does that really work? Like, are you really 7 times as large as your bare foot? I don't know if I'm gonna have to measure my foot later. Murder. Their soles are respectively of wave pattern and... Why did you stop? No reason. No reason at all. A carved pattern sole for myself a few days ago. My shoe sole has a wave pattern. After all that, it turns out to be our own footprints. What? Finding clues is really difficult, isn't it? Why do you have that carved into your footprints, Aku? Huh? All contact leaves traces. This principle applies to detectives as well. When we focused on finding the murderer, we tended to ignore our presence at the scene. No, today I must regain my dignity. I'm going to investigate every footprint in the house. 30 minutes later. After searching the entire room, the only footprints I found were of myself and yours. Well, that's important too. Yeah, we need to put that down. Why is everything covered up? The absence of evidence can be just as important as the presence of evidence. And there's like soot covering the whole room. By the way, how did you know that the steamed buns were delivered 6 hours ago? It was written on the note next to the box. The 21st, 7:45 a.m. at the end of the alley, Lowe's house. It is at approximately 6 hours ago. So what happened then? You are really perceptive, Shen. If I had known something like this would happen, I definitely wouldn't have eaten those buns. How was the taste of the steamed buns at the crime scene? The murder-filled steamed buns. They were delicious, not spoilt at all. Alright, I guess we gotta look through some of these novels again. Yeah, we looked at those. There used to be some ceramic vessels. Okay, bottom shelf. The manuscripts. But recently someone's been helping him. Okay, we had all that figured out already. We can't look at the middle shelf anymore? The more I think, the more suspicious it is. The words on the paper must be related to the case. It would be great if we could recover the words for the paper. It's not difficult. You just need to use this. Marks on the floor? No, I don't think we have something. Right? I mean, we can't have something yet. It's Moriarty, the mastermind. Okay. Desk? Oh, they still want me to try to figure it out. Let's just try the dust. No, it's not. How about we continue searching? Yeah, that's fine. I see. Oh, no, I didn't want to do... Yeah, back. So we can still come back and find something to look at the desk. Anything on this bed? A wooden bed. Judging from the color of the wood, it has been around for quite some years. Well, or maybe I do need to figure out what it is. How to recover the words. Strangulation marks. Autopsy. Charcoal brazier? Maybe we could use that. Perhaps we could apply charcoal to the paper. The indentations would be made more visible. Okay, that's what we wanted. It actually looks like foot size can be used to predict height, but obviously it's an average. Interesting. Press and hold space, and then WESD to smear? Wait, I see writing. Can anybody read this? Is it gonna tell me what this says? Who was the murderer? This is working quite well. Oh, look, there's more over here. I mean, they're really showing up out of nowhere. Wow, the words appeared. And take a look and see what it says. Books were written by Lo Shih-wen, inadequate. Lo Pei deceived us. Editor responsible. Final ultimatum. If not reported, extraordinary measures. Never tolerate. Half a letter. Lo Pei deceived us. Many words did not come through clearly. It's fragmented and intermittent. The text is not complete. This should be the second half of a letter. It seems that Lo Shih-wen is accusing Lo Pei of plagiarizing his book. No, none of it, you understand. It's mine. It all belongs to me. It's understandable why Lo Shih-wen would react that way when being accused. Lo Shih-wen also mentioned that the editor had responsibility. Isn't Lo Pei's editor Liu Pingcheng? Is this a reason why Lo Shih-wen killed her? It's still difficult to make any conclusions now, but we're gonna keep looking around. Well, the house has been searched thoroughly. What should we do next? Miss Liu was murdered 14 hours ago. The murder occurred around midnight. It's not long after I arrived at Lo Pei's house. It's highly possible that you and I were the last people to see her. Afu, last night. You were in town. Did you notice anything unusual? No. After we separated, I went to find the blacksmith, Sheng Ta. Then I watched him forge iron all night at the blacksmith's workshop. Just watching him pounding that. It was really pretty, I guess. Finally, we repaired all the parts I needed. Oh, I guess that was for the boat. Anything related to the murder case? I really didn't pay any attention. Well, that's normal too. Shen, let's go out and ask others in town. There might be eyewitnesses. Well, it's worth a try. It's unlikely to have eyewitnesses since the case happened late at night.
白天说不定更有希望
Daytime
成
may
为
offer a
突破口
better chance to find witness. What? Witnesses? Daytime?
案件不是
Wasn't the
发生
case
在
supposed to
晚
have
上吗？
happened at night?
这么做的理由
The reason
是那
for
个包子
doing
告诉
so
我
was revealed to me by the box of steamed buns. Steamed buns?
包子适合出
The
现在屋内
presence of that box inside the house contradicts a certain clue at the scene. The marks on the floor.
难道
Are you referring to the footprints? Yes.
有人将包子
Someone
拿到
brought the
屋内
steamed buns into the
却没有留
house,
下任
but
何
there
脚
were
印
no footprints left behind.
这显然是不正常的
This is obviously abnormal.
你是说
Are you
有人
suggesting
清理
that
了现
someone
场的脚
cleaned
印？
up the footprints at the crime scene?
可能是送包子的人
It could be the box
也可能在他
deliverer
之后
or someone
还有
else
其
who
他人出
entered and left after him.
无论是谁
Whoever it is,
此人
this
必定与
person
案
is
件有重大
undoubtedly
关联
closely related to the case.
确实
Indeed,
否则没有
otherwise
必
there
要
would be
清理
no
现场
need
的
for
脚
him to
印。
clean up the footprints at the scene.
被清理掉的
More than
不只
just
是脚印
footprints were cleaned up.
屋内虽没发
Although
现大
no
头的痕迹
signs of a fight were found
但
inside
死
the
者身上
house,
是有抵
the
抗伤的
victim has defensive
那些
wounds.
痕迹
Those fighting
说不定也被
traces
清理。
may have been cleaned up as well.
凶
Or
器
this
很可能也
isn't
是
the
被他
real
带走的。
crime scene. It is highly possible that the murder weapon was also taken away by
没
him.
错
That's right.
先
Shen,
生，
let's
我
go
们
and
去找
find
这
this
个人吧。
person right away.
可以
Sure.
先去卖包子的那个高级
Perhaps,
小吃
well,
看看。
maybe we should first visit Cow's snack stall.
顺道再买点好吃
Want
的
to buy some snacks? Eating is not the top priority after all.
我想搞清楚
I want to find out what happened to Miss Liu last night.
她为什么会
Why
哭得
was
那
she
么伤心
crying so brokenhearted?
又是怎么变
And
成
how
今
did she
早这样？
become like this by morning?
吴大娘，
Auntie
这便是案
Vu,
发现场了。
this is the scene of the
这
crime.
屋里可真
It's
热
really
呀！
hot in this house, isn't it? Oh, look, it's the coroner.
又是你们，
You again.
你们在这里
What are
干什
you
么？
doing here?
当然是在调查
Of
现场
course,
啊
we're investigating the crime scene.
大胆！
How dare you?
断案记就
Mr.
是
Shen
衙
is
门
overly involved in a matter that should be handled by the officials.
柜子中的尸体
Afu and I
是我和
discovered the
阿福发
body
现
in the wardrobe, so I
我自
couldn't
然是
just
不会
stand
袖
by
手
and do
旁观。
nothing.
想袖手旁
It's
观
not
也不
even
行啊
possible to stand
谁
by.
知道马
Who
府
knows
会
if
不会又
Officer
把
Ma
先生
might
当成
consider
凶
us as suspects?
哼
You are
如果你们
truly
真的清
innocent.
清白白
I will not
本
accuse
部
you
长
wrongly.
闲话少说，
Enough
赶紧
idle
出去
talk. Hurry up and leave.
本部和吴
Okay,
大娘要
Auntie
调查
Vu
现
and I
场
are
了
going to continue to investigate. Sounds good. Mr. Shen, please leave quickly. If Officer Ma see you, he'd draw his sword again. Yeah, he's been doing that a lot, huh? I have a few questions for you, soldier. I'll leave after asking. Go ahead. The seal on the door. You pasted it? Yes, it's me. Can you remember exactly when? At noon. Posted that you stayed for about 15 minutes. Then I came here to put the seal and stand guard. Okay. Helped post the list of individuals and then came here to guard, noticing no one suspicious. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Everything's normal except old Cho. He was wandering around early in the morning. Is it an old man dressed as a scholar? Yes, he's an old scholar. Okay, we can go talk to him. And then about Lo Shui. Do you know anything about him? He's a lazy bone. He's ungrateful and vicious. No wonder, everyone dislikes him. Wow, jeez Louise. So they all knew he was gonna do it. Had Lo Pei treated Lo Xuan well? Lo Xuan doesn't work usually. Lo Pei provides him with food and clothes and a place to live in. Did Lo Pei do this because his articles were actually written by Lo Xuan? Lo Pei is a great writer. He's the pride of our Prero town. Even children don't bother to read what Lo Shihun writes. Okay, go ahead. Alright, no more questions. Y'all, I'm getting a little... My voice is leaving me. We've been going a good 2 hours. We started chapter 2. I think that'll be good. We can start back up with, you know, when I'm streaming this one, starting in chapter 2 here. It seems like we got a good start on things before we go finish the investigation, so... Let me know how you like this one. It's much more like visual novel-y, like novel-esque for sure, than it really is like the deductions and stuff. But it's been kind of fun, and like I've been liking, like you said, I've been liking the drama. So I thought it was funny in the title sequence that I kind of had something that looked like the guy. How do we save? Save. Empty slot. Confirm. I wanted to see if I could show off the opening title sequence for you real quick, but I couldn't find it in like my collection or anything like that. Look at all these endings. Like, what the heck? How long is this game? There's our glossary we've unlocked so far. A few achievements. Seems like there's a good number of those too. 3 out of 47, so if you get 3 about every one, yeah. Like, maybe this game is kind of massive or something. And it's on sale right now, so for like $13, $12, like, geez, that's a lot of stuff to do. It's just a lot to read out loud. So I'm kind of like, need more water. But it was a good day today. I really liked doing some Lunacid earlier. This one is pretty fun too. It's definitely very Phoenix Wright, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, Ace Attorney, those are great games. And they do have a lot that they're very graphic novel-y too, or visual novel-y, which, you know, according to what they said was all of their opening, like in this little opening up here, what inspired them was a lot of graphic novels, so it kind of makes sense. But with that, I'm gonna go get a little more food and enjoy your evenings. Maybe if you want to dive or something, we could. Well, actually, I might. Like I said, I'm gonna get up and eat a little bit. So, peace. Ciao, ciao.